We go. Hello, everybody. How we all doing today? I hope we're all doing well. So, sorry, we meant to start about 10 minutes ago, but unfortunately, Tesh had a little bit of a hiccup with his voice mod, so he gave them the old one too, didn't you, Tesh? Yeah, you did.
Uh, yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
That's definitely what happened.
He's
Not
like,
them being happy
upgrade
with
to
the results.
pros. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirm. What? What? That's right. uh, awesome. Cool. Last session, just to kind of dive right into it, because again, we're ending in about 3 hours and 4 minutes. I have to end at about 5 of an hour shy of when we usually end. To make sure I can get to work on time, I tried for 2 weeks to get an hour and a half of coverage, but I couldn't. So I was like, well, that's fine. We'll just kind of react accordingly. Last session, when we left off, you guys had did a full blown assault against the kind of like hidden operation to the Black Mask, no, Black Knights, Black Knights, I think they're called.
Black
The
Knights,
Black
yeah.
Knights, the terrorist organization that works for the people of Delagus against Paradel. Spoiler alert, not actually a terrorist organization. They're actually a crime syndicate that is trying to use the current socioeconomic war situation to make a profit. Sorry, while doing terrorist things because it kind of like works to their financial benefit as opposed to actually giving a flying poopy caca about the situation that's going on. So you guys did a full blown assault. It was a kind of a cool plan you came up with. Tesh rolled about 75 natty 20s, and then he
Yeah, I'm
just
screwed this session.
he just like crossed his arms and flew in the air, looking down the bridge of his nose at me like a genie or some shit. Like, come at me, pleb. And I didn't. I didn't come at him. I was put in my place and like a little bitch. And then you guys went and you got shot at with a gun. And Neil was just kind of like, brah, I just got this armor. Like, I paid a lot of money for this. How about you?
Very
not
glad
do
I
that?
did.
Yeah, yeah, right. Oh, so
This might be a little bit more of a bloody mess on the floor at
Yeah,
the end.
that could have ended much different. Like, oh no.
Um, so that's pretty cool right there. And you finished killing all of the leadership there. And then there was one person that you didn't kill. He was just a person that just got the crap kicked out of him by, I think you got an arrow in
He
him
got an arrow, yeah.
by, I want to say, Crow. Got an arrow in the shoulder or some crap and collapsed to the ground. And I kind of like ran and hid and got intimidated to not join the fight and was very happy he didn't join the fight. So we're literally kind of picking up right where the combat ended. Before we push on any further, one of the things I do want to remind everybody that comes to hang out and watch the show is both on this channel on Lost Initiative, just as a big reminder, when I do these campaigns streamed, the campaigns that I run on here are for very much a very specific group of people. I run the campaigns for my PCs. Like when every big decision is made, they're made for the benefit of the PCs. So while I do, of course, love having the viewers here, and there are many ways to interact with the campaign, whether it be through daddies or Patreon or a million different ways, whatever the ways that we've seen kind of happen along the way, polling, so on and so forth. The primary focus of every campaign is the 3 or 4 people, sometimes one, sitting on the Zoom call with me to make sure that they're having the most fun possible, because I'm literally doing it for them. Everybody else is just along for the ride. So it's very much the story is for them. So just as a reminder, that is how my focus will always be. It'll never change from that focus. Have lots of fun doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it that way because that's how D&D should be done. As a
He
group
says that,
play.
guys. Is anyone else having a flashback to Harad having 2,000 troops just pop out of their ass?
I think you mean Hot Gwen. Harrod is a wonderful place.
That was it, yeah.
Harrod is a
Yeah.
wonderful place. As a matter of fact, Green recently assimilated, or what's the word I'm looking for here, Jake? Kingmaker phrasing. Like,
Absorb.
I know what you're talking about. He
Unified.
fertilized them and then
Unified with Herod.
Unified.
That's not.
Like Pac-Man. Nom, 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 nom.
It's like everyone's like the United States of America, and everyone turns to each other at this diplomatic meal and goes,
To be fair, though, kind of true. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're like, Hawaii looks like a great place to vacation. International fees suck. Oil looks like it comes from frozen places. Alaska? All right. Let's yeah, I know, poor Hawaii. At work, I wanted to be known at work. I had a fantastic year at work. I bitch about work, but like, I suppose humble brag. I'm really good at work, and so I actually, I almost.
That's not humble.
Oh, super humble. I get way worse. I was this close to winning a week's vacation in Hawaii, a fully paid for week's vacation for myself and my wife, like airfare there and back, everything completely paid at an all-inclusive resort. For it would have been 8 days of off because 7 days there, but an extra day of travel. I was this close. I was so close, and instead I missed it by like 3 spots. And again, my company's huge, so I was in like the top, not just the top 10%, but like the narrow top of that. And instead I got a free week of vacation. That was nice. I got an extra 40 hours vacation.
Don't complain about free week of vacation.
I'm very grateful.
You know what this sounds like?
Very grateful. But
This sounds like you should stop the steal, Scott.
March up to my headquarters in Ohio, crash on Wade and Molly's couch, and be like, "Hey, I'm Rica." So,
And they respect that.
in Ohio, they do actually. They're super
You go in there like with your pistol on your hip, and you like walk in, and you're like, "I'd like
Make
to
America
speak with the
great again,
manager." Yeah, with your POTUS hat on.
Oh.
And like the manager like is like, "Who the hell are you?" And you're like, "I'm blah blah blah." And they're like, "I like your stones, kid. You get it." And then you all pull out your pistols and shoot them in the air.
Well,
Yeah.
so funny that my
Right? That's how it works.
the president of my company, he actually has a Mandalorian helmet. So if I walk in with a wide brim hat and maybe some like metal attachments on my face, you know what I'm saying? I can just walk in.
I mean,
with,
that's season 2 spoilers, Scott. That's not appropriate.
excuse me, I am not talking about Mandalorian.
I mean, it basically like you can say what you want, like, "Oh no, it's not it's Mandalorian."
I mean, it was a really disappointing season of Mandalorian if that was the case.
Ooh.
All right, cool. Let's get into it. Let's dive in. The whole point of starting early was to get the shit talk out of the way early, right?
Yep.
Cool. Any more shit talk? Anything else? Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. Tash, I meant to say this before we went live. Then we talked about voice mod. Do you watch stand-up comedy or no?
Yes, no, not often, but yes.
Okay. I want you to Google the name Taylor Tomlinson. Her new, I fucking love Taylor. She's awesome. I follow her like YouTube, and Brittany follows her on like Insta and whatnot. But her new stand-up on Netflix that just came out like a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, it is amazing. It is so funny, and I think you really appreciate the angle they take for it because of how like outspoken you are about certain things. So I think you'll actually appreciate the angle she takes to the stand-up comedy. So
yeah, thank you. I'll check her out.
Yeah, I love stand-up. I watch way too much of it.
I enjoy it when I watch it.
Yeah,
I just don't usually seek it out. But it's not like not a choice thing. It's just how that is.
Jake's taste in stand-up comedy as a proper Australian is if somebody's rights aren't being stepped on, then it's not good stand-up. So, which I appreciate that. That's fine. You know, you go ahead and you get your bidet with Joe Rogan, and that's perfectly fine. You know, that's fine. That's okay. So, but
was that like a day joke? Like every dog has his bidet or something?
this might not be a thing in Europe because you guys already had bidets, but in the United States, every dude and his brother wants to get a bidet because Joe Rogan made them popular. So,
See,
it's
we don't have
weird,
bidets
but-
over here. It's a French thing. And
yeah, but like France is like, you're closer to France than I am to Messi.
yeah.
By a
But
lot.
we've warred for a long time.
I mean, that's like sibling rivalry, though. I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, they're like right there. They're like,
I mean, we have like national heroes that like the main thing they did was fight each other. You know.
I mean,
Shall we loot?
I suppose we should get into this. Europe is not a monolith. Whoa, hold on. Shinny changed her name? Hi,
Yeah, that really
Shinny.
confused me. I was like,
Ah,
Oh,
Nani?
wait, hold on. Wasn't it originally Shinny, and didn't she become the game mummy? Wasn't the game mummy also Shinny? Am I
Yes.
crazy? Yes, right? And now
Yeah.
Shinny changed her name again? Listen, Shinny, you changed your name as often as my ex-girlfriend changed her hair color. Okay? Like I was just like, oh, red today. Okay. Hi. My name's Scott. All right, cool.
I'm
You
just
can't
saying
plead the
that-
fifth. You're not in the United States. You can't plead the fifth. Like that's not how that works. You can't sit there and plead the fifth from France. I know you're not in France. You're in
Well, you just like
some Eastern European country that I can't remember. Yes, yeah. I was like S1. Slovakia, is that one? I don't know. I have a American education. There's one country, it's Ohio. So
like I won't pretend that my geography is particularly good. I
crashing
just
and
happen to
burning
remember
slow.
where Shinny is from.
okay, so here's the fun fact. Google the distance between where you live and where that country is, and then Google the difference between Massachusetts.
Yes,
and
I
Florida.
get it. You're in the other side of the world. Well done. You're in the new world.
Well, newer's better. So,
Congrats on your potatoes.
those came from Ireland, actually.
We brought
Thank
them
you,
back
Tash.
from the new world.
So, thank you, Tash.
The potatoes definitely didn't come from Ireland. Yeah, they ended up. They became an Irish like.
Yeah, but
Thing.
you guys had the famine, so like we're we give you
So
credit for
so
it.
the British ended up. I can't remember it was forced or not, but the Irish had a monoculture. Essentially, they only farmed potatoes. So when they had the disease,
Yes.
they all starved, and the Brits were like, "Well, they shouldn't have grown only potatoes then, and let them all die."
I mean, I am familiar with that whole bit right there. I honestly didn't remember where they were originally indigenous from, though. But that's neither. here nor
Potatoes
there.
are from South America,
America.
says Norway.
And
can
Ireland
you
is
just
where
go on
snakes are
Google
from.
Map?
That's right.
Can you just go on Google Maps and just
Hey, no,
look
I
at the
was raised
distance
Catholic.
between Ireland and South America for me, Scott? Like, how the hell can you be that wrong?
That's awesome. Oh, that's good. All right, cool. Let's get into the game. So when last we left off, you guys had more or less waltzed into a cave with a shopping cart and just said, "I'll have one of everything." And the employees in there were like, "That's not how it works." And then Neil lowered his lance and said, "I'll speak to your manager." And the manager stepped forward and clicked their pen once or twice and said, "Don't make me get my district on the phone." And Neil was just kind of like, "I'm going to deal with you and you're going to like it." And then they all just kind of laid down and let you guys collect what you wanted to. And there was that one sad employee that does like the curbside pickup deliveries. And he's helping you pack your cart right now. And it all worked out. So, it's great. It's great. That's where we left off. Let's kind of jump into it. So,
I was trying to figure out who the undead one would be.
All right, so
There's
where
a
were we?
joke somewhere there. But,
yeah, I'm sure. I was honestly thinking.
yeah, IKEA joke. Just leave it. Someone will make one.
It's funny. I've said beforehand I don't really enjoy watching D&D content. It's not really my cup of tea. But that being said, I fucking loved Krendor's Daikea thing that he ran. It made no sense. It was absolute chaos. It was really stupid. It is not for actual D&D enjoying people, or actually the average one. I loved it because it was stupid. It was so stupid. It was so much fun.
See, I don't hugely like watching D&D content either, and I'm intrigued. Can you put a poll in chat, Scott?
No.
Do people watch D&D because they enjoy watching D&D, or do people watch D&D as a stopgap because they can't play D&D? Like, are you searching for the cocaine? But the only thing you got is heroin. But the only thing you got is the methadone.
I'm someone who thoroughly enjoys both.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I was gonna say because you have people in chat that actually do both. Like
yeah, I know, but I want to see what percentage of people.
Yeah,
huge sample size stuff.
There would have to be a poll in Discord as opposed to Twitch because
What
you
do
get
you
a
mean?
more accurate poll.
Look at this sample size; it's huge. What are you on about?
It's double digits, man.
Jesus Christ!
Sample size of 10, including the 4 of us. So,
all right. To be fair, I suppose it's not that big because, like, I'm fairly certain.
I know, that's what she said. I know.
The difference between our age is more than that.
No, it's not. Wait.
No, it's not. Wait.
Shit, it's 11 years, isn't it? God damn it! That's funny because I recently saw Free Guy, and there's like one kiss scene in that movie, and Brittany and I are both like, there's 17 years between them. Whoa. It's so gross. So gross.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens all the time in movies where like the actress is like 23 years younger than the actor, and it's just like ew. And they'll do like very intimate scenes, and you're like, bro, that's gross. It's so gross. But either way, let's keep going. So I
feel so cool about it. Hey, LT, what you doing?
Let's loot.
Yeah. All right. So let us.
But don't forget, we gave our Kingfisher's picture to that guy. It was like, spread the news, man.
Yes.
Okay. So you are going to put down the Kingfishers, get handed to the guy, kind of gave you orders, and he was like, "Sir, yes, sir," and took care of that for you. But otherwise, you're going to start walking around and checking this place out. So as previously described, there were a few chests around the room. There's that like armoire, bit of furniture that she had kind of like hid behind for a moment to gain a degree of cover because she lost her action.
There's a chest somewhere,
before she popped out and cast a spell. She could have been significantly more dangerous because she was actually a leveled druid, but you guys kind of killed her. I think one round of her actually in combat.
I thought she was a holy druid.
Leveled druid, I said.
Yeah, because she had that hole.
Oh. I hate that I love that joke.
I mean, come on, how often do you get to make a holy joke of that hole?
So anyways, the fucking nails. And then the 3 bodies on the ground, as well as the 3 different beds that happen to be. No, sorry, there are 4 different beds that happen to be inside here. But there's obviously the 3 individuals. So you can go around, and don't forget, one of the corpses is like Crypt Keeper on the ground.
That's right. Yeah, he's all husk.
Yeah, I want to try and take that with us when we leave. If Triss would put it on.
You're a sick fuck.
Carrot.
You want to do what? I'm sorry.
I want to take the corpse because this thing was animated by unholy energy.
Oh, sorry. You got to witness it. You actually fully understand what it is, don't you?
Yeah,
he like saw it like a ring wraith.
And now I have to autopsy it.
I don't think
I want to take it.
Would Carrick want a corpse thrown onto his back? Would that impact his ability to continue moving?
Carrick is a trained warhorse.
Okay, do you want to carry a dead body on its back if you're going to be riding it out? Like, it's heavy.
Oh, the weight-wise, I don't think that would have a significant impact, no.
I think we said his light load was what? Was it 400?
400 or some shit? 600.
600.
It's not going to impact him.
Yeah, because you weigh what? Close to 3?
Yeah, something like that. With
you,
all my equipment.
Oh,
and then an extra desiccated body, it's going to weigh like
less,
150.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah. With including equipment and whatnot. Yeah, it's not so bad. Because again, you'd weigh probably a little over 3 with all of your equipment, but that would lay. Yeah, you should be fine. You're right. All right, cool.
I need to probably figure out how much I weigh.
Plans for more fighting, wasn't there? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember.
Don't forget that you have a high con and strength, so your attributes, your actual weight should be decent.
I just need to convert it into pounds. I actually have a weight set.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, that's right. We're going back to the city to find the people in the city. That's right. To ambush them with the
pretty much what we're doing now.
We need to find records.
Looting this place for good things and intel.
Proof that the selfish stuff, that they're in it for themselves, stuff like that, and also the people that they're like the other members that are back in town that don't know that they've been made.
Cool. So that being said, so kind of going around and searching everything, why don't you guys go ahead and make me your perception checks to comb through the place. But before you roll, actually, it's important to note that while you're not searching every goddamn square, every square inch of this place, that'd be foolish for a couple of reasons. You're going to be searching through the drawers of any furniture that's there, inside the chest, the lining of chests, the beds, et cetera, obviously. It's important to note that every 10 square feet you search, so more or less every 4 squares that you search, takes a minute to search. So how long do you want to invest into searching?
Okay. How long?
A little while.
So it took me 3 minutes to was it 3 minutes to get to here from the place?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And that was like that was fast. So we have more than 3 minutes at least, hopefully. So let's
say what do you reckon about 10 minutes?
I was about to say let's assume like triple that to 9 minutes, so 10 minutes. Yeah, let's give it 10 minutes.
Scott, I also wanted to use this. I don't know if this will aid us, but that.
Detect secret doors absolutely helps because that gives you instantly you would know if there's any secret doors that happen to be in the area. Secret doors aren't just literal doors that we have like. It's also like hidden compartments and whatnot as well. So that would absolutely help you. Yeah, it's a great spell.
Okay, good.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
Before we get to that, should we start with the bodies of the two that are there, the druid and the Aurorum guy?
Probably because
we're taking the other one with us. So
yeah, we should loot them, especially the one that had the smoky thing on it that we don't know what it is.
Then in that case, Shinny, you want to do me a favor because I missed you so much? You want to go ahead and roll me a D100. Also, are you still living in the Eastern Europe, or did you finally make your way over to the UK? That's not a D100. That is almost a D200, but you know. Yeah, we can tell you didn't know what 100 was. You know, I just assume it's, you know, the education system over there. So, I'm just kidding. All right, 65. Thank you so much. So you'll get there soon, though. Jokes aside, you'll get there soon. I know you want to be with the boy toy. So you guys going around and checking out the bodies. So obviously, the body that we're most interested at the moment was the one that carried that beautiful hand cannon. None of you guys have a clue what the hell that was. I mean, I think 2 of you witnessed it go off. Maybe only one of you actually witnessed it go off. So only one of you actually has a first-hand.
I heard
he shot twice.
Yeah,
he just didn't hit Neil.
He shot once.
He
loaded
shot
a
once.
second time.
Yeah, he loaded and then got dead.
Okay.
Because he was about to fire again till we realized that Scott skipped Neil's turn.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, I tried
and
to.
then Neil squished him.
Yeah, Neil said, "Well, I know what my turn is."
Yeah.
So you guys search over that body. So one of the first things you find, clouded by their hands, there is the hand cannon. It's fully loaded, fully packed, so on and so forth, right? Inside their like one of their pockets that they have on them, because like I mentioned that he kind of like threw on a quick bit of like vestment armor. Inside that armor, he happened to have like a little coat pocket with 3 different slots inside of it. Those slots, you can tell that 2 of them are empty, and one of them has that strange kind of like triangular folded pouch that's in it that had like the cap that he bit off, but that thing's completely soaked in blood from just the absolutely horrific way that he was beaten to death. So the thing is just very, very, very blood soaked. But looking over their body, all you find is that item in their hands, their blood-soaked armor that they're wearing that had that one pouch that was left inside there that was blood-soaked, and otherwise nothing really else because they just woke up from nappy nap time. So nothing really going on there. Then you have the what are they called? The body of the person that kind of went all husky husk mode. That individual has on them their sword, which, let's be 100% clear here. That was a finely crafted sword, right? That was what was it rolling for damage, right? 1d8. But there was an extremely finely crafted sword that they had there. So you can clearly tell the value in that just in and of itself. So clearly you're going to want to grab it because of like how well made it is. But on the flip side of that, because it's so finely crafted, it's probably going to be known, at least to certain circles, whose blade that was. You know what I mean? You don't just get to walk around with a custom-made fine weapon without people being like, "It's not Tim's. That looks an awful lot like Tim's." Right? Yeah.
Okay, so that could work out to our favor either way. That could be useful.
Yeah. And then, so you obviously going to grab that. But also off of Tim, one of the things that you notice as you're checking over their body is underneath their shirt, like the collar of their shirt, kind of like finger pull out a little chain that they have there. The chain itself is actually made out of gold, which is nice because it probably has a good amount of value to it. And it comes down to a setting that holds a gold, again, a gold setting that holds a crystal to it. The crystal is like a deeper red, almost like a garnet in color. It's like a deeper red color. It has like little like inclusions and chip marks and whatnot that are on it, so it's not like it's a perfect crystal by any stretch of the imagination. It is a longer cylindrical style, so you can almost imagine if you imagine a Kyber crystal in your head, so how longer, almost like cylindrical it is, but still has those rough facets to it. And that's kind of like what's attached to that crystal. Obviously, you can unclasp the thing and take it if you would like, or you can leave it on the body. I assume you're going to take it. Also on that individual, one of the things that you notice is that they happen to have a bracelet on them that seems to be very finely made. So the bracelet that they have, it's made out of like a heavier chain of silver. So it's like a thick, almost like a Cuban link, but like a thicker, heavier silver chain that they wear on their wrist that has a strange kind of like etchings or engravings put into it. You don't know if you would know what those are. Let me actually look at Jake. He might be able to, because Jake is educated like a mofo. Yep, actually Jake would be able to read it. So Jake, it's actually written in Mull, the etchings that are on there, and you can see that it's actually an old like turn of phrase that references about the more or less what is it, speed over strength. So it's like an old turn of phrase that kind of like more or less turns to the idea of speed over strength. No instant like idea off the top of my head of how that's phrased, but looking at that, you can clearly tell. And again, it's like a heavy silver chain. Like it has like a decent amount of weight to it. You could of course take that thing as well. As for the woman on the far side of the room, the one that had,
are you writing this down, Tesh?
Yeah, I'm not writing down details other than what item is what.
Yeah,
but,
okay. I've seen you typing. I wasn't sure whether to type it or not.
Crystal garnet necklace, a masterwork sword, bracelet, chain brackets, chain of silver, That's all the items he's mentioned so far, right? There's more details in what he's explaining, obviously, but
no, you're
I'm
good.
just,
I just wanted to make sure one of us was writing it down.
Yeah,
That's why I'd seen you typing.
That's exactly
so
why I did it. I wanted to make sure I had a list so it could jog my memory of which is which.
Tesh, that's what you call subtle delegation, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
Jake put on his manager pants and rolled a charisma check, and the good little doobie did their job. So, good job, Jake. Those leadership training courses weren't in vain.
Thank you.
You're welcome, of course. I'm proud of your company.
What was that? What the?
It was a heater.
Oh.
And if I
when you slid across, it made like a wow sound. It was really weird.
That's funny. All right, so the where was I?
We just did the chain
and then there's
the
the woman that happens to be inside here. So going over her body and what she happens to have over there. I mean, same as the others, she happened to be sleeping, so she didn't have much by way of value on her, because she was sleeping. But why don't you go ahead and whoever's looking over her body, and none of these things you've had to roll for. It's pretty obvious. Again, they're not wearing a ton of stuff. So whoever you think would be checking out the woman's corpse, I imagine Jake would probably be checking the corpse of the one that was clearly undead, right? I imagine Neil would be checking the corpse of the one that he just put the hole in that shot him with the gun. So let's assume Tesh is the one that's checking her out. Tesh, can you go ahead and roll me either a nature or survival check, whichever one you think is better?
Ooh, survival is better than nature.
Damn, I had the nature down pat.
Yeah.
You're lucky on that one.
Wait, I can. Jake did say at the end of the last train he was going over to look for the book to see if she had a book.
I did say that.
So maybe it would be Viggo looking for that body.
I'll say that you're looking over her body, but he's just gonna either call over or whatever and say.
Okay.
You have a book
I'll roll survival. It was like bad, good, bad, good, bad.
In short, you don't see anything of value on her, and certainly searching over her body, there's no spell book or anything like that. But to be fair, if a wizard just woke up in the middle of the night, they're not gonna have a spell book on hand. It's most likely inside their chest. So he starts unbuttoning her shirt. No, I'm just kidding. So you're gonna go over to the bits of furniture that's over there and start searching through it. At this point in time, how much time were you guys investing into the actual search?
So we said we were gonna invest 10 minutes to search the place carefully, and Crow is still outside, right?
Yeah, Crow is handling a combative situation. Hopefully, he didn't just die out there. So,
fuck.
He's alright.
I could go check on him. Make sure he's not dying, not dead, not bleeding out on the floor.
Are you not bleeding out on the floor? Just make sure you're good first.
Oh shit! I'm gonna heal myself as well. Need to take a potion.
How about we not spend time doing potions to heal? That'd be a better option. Yeah, let's not do that.
Okay.
All right, cool. So everybody's fine with their current state. Nobody needs to heal.
I definitely need to heal, but if you're saying we don't need to worry about it, sure, I'll take your word.
Yeah, that's not what's happening, Jake. Jake, it's a trap, Jake.
Can I go check on Crow then? Because I got Karok, so it won't take me long to find him.
Sure. You want to go check on him? For you, then, instead of a perception check, you're gonna roll me a survival check to go search Crow. You would have a bonus for identifying and following tracks if you were Gallon, but you're not.
It's annoying because I'm probably one of the better ones to search for stuff as well as also go check on him. Oh, that's not good.
So, he doesn't remember how to get back to where he came from while out there looking for Crow. So it's one of those things, if you're going to spend 10 minutes searching, y'all going to be like,
where's Triss?
Where's Triss? The good news is, even if you can't find what's his name, Carrick might be able to find the way back. to where Carrick came from, because horses have an extremely keen sense of smell. So why don't you go ahead and roll Carrick's survival check, sir? They actually have scent, don't they? Do horses have scent?
They do have scent.
Yeah.
It
Carrick also has no clue.
It was about to go to 14, and it was like, nah.
It's fine. I'm used to, like, in anything that is not like absolutely essential, I just roll like 3s and 4s nowadays. I could just consistently roll under 10.
I want to say ever since I turned 34, I only roll 3s and 4s. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well.
Yep.
And that's a long time to be rolling 3s and 4s, Scott.
2 years. It's been a rough 2 years. COVID was like, listen, I'm not going to get you sick. I'm just going to get you sick of rolling dice. And I was like, I think I would have preferred I think I would have come out on top with, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. All right. Not having to deal with the wife's morning breath might have been a good thing, but never mind. I guess I'll just fail at Dungeons and Dragons. That's okay. So, I think I'm safe. We'll assume I'm safe. All right.
I can't be concerned about the smell of burning black powder. I'll tell you what it smells like. It smells like, and that's it. There's no more burning. Not from the black powder, anyway.
All right. So, yeah, you yeah. So you guys are searching the bodies. Why don't you go ahead and roll me your perception checks? Not the bodies, the room.
Come on, dice.
I think to save time. I don't know
Did
if
I roll
you want
twice?
to do this test or not.
But it didn't. Huh? Okay.
No,
What?
rolled once, sir. You rolled well.
No, it'll be easier if we both look. I was gonna say. Oh, good. What am I rolling?
It'll be-
Perception? I do have that detect secret doors. and
Correct.
things.
You know what Scott's going to have you do? He's going to have you accidentally stumble in on the cache of black powder that hasn't exploded for like 3 hours for some reason. And it'll explode as you walk in.
No. What is it? Badasses walk away from explosions, not into them. Oh. All right. So that's why you're lost in the woods with Carrick. It's in the background. Just like... So anyways, you guys are searching through the room. So in the armoire, you're able to find various outfits. So because I only described there being one armoire inside there, you can actually see that there are several, like over a dozen different outfits. But it's not like there's a dozen different outfits for one in particular individual. It looks like a couple of outfits for each of a few different people. So like everybody has like, I like they have spare clothes here more or less in case they need them. And all of them are fine clothing. To be clear, like we're talking, these are elegant clothes with like a little bit of gold filigree on them and a really high thread count of fabrics. We're talking complex fabric patterns, things like that. Each outfit clearly has a specific pair of shoes and a little bit of jewelry to go along with it. It's not like it's all like conveniently lined up for you. But you can imagine with any degree of pattern recognition like Viggo would have with his upbringing that, like clearly this goes with that and that goes, okay, yeah, I see what they're doing here, right?
Do I need to go with premium sandals?
No premium sandals, nothing like that. Yeah. It's too soon. Like that fad wouldn't have been able to get all the way over here. You guys are ahead of it, right? Yeah. It's like Pokemon was popular in one location and then like a year later in the other. It takes time, Yeah. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, you find like there's lots of outfits and whatnot of including the jewelry and whatnot that's meant to match it there that has value, but not value for what it is that you're looking for and information. Up to you as to whether or not you take or leave any of that crap. Like I said, there are 4 beds that happen to be here. Searching throughout, all of the beds, you find 0 anything amongst the mattresses, pillows, blankets, banisters, or legs of the beds or anything like that. Nothing hidden there whatsoever. Going over to the 4 independent chests that they happen to have for those different beds, this is where you start to find objects that may be of value. So, for instance, next to each of the beds, you're going to find an area where they have a degree of like coin purse where you're going to be able to find money inside of it. So as for the value of how much money they have inside there, I'm going to have the next 4 D100s that have to be rolled by 4 different people in chat would be how much gold pieces you find in each of those purses. You're also going to find a couple of other details. So, for instance, the person that had the pistol, you saw him fiddling around inside of his chest over there. You're also going to be able to find his own weapon that he has. So it's going to be another, not anywhere near as fine as the other person, but pretty finely crafted sword that he has. So that's going to be a saber-style sword. Saber being like a cutlass, or I think there's actually rules for cutlass in Pathfinder. I don't have to.
You mean like a saber?
Yeah, saber and cutlass are the same. Yeah, but there's rules specifically for cutlass. I think it's a D6 1920 weapon. So again, nicely crafted, probably masterworked, and a couple of other belongings. You can see the rest of his armor happens to be inside there. But more importantly, you can see some of his correspondence happens to be in there too. So I mean, like letters and whatnot that are twined together and held up tight and kind of like folded into like a leather flap over. When you go over to the person that had the druid over into her area, inside hers, this is actually more for you, Jake, than anybody else. Jake, go ahead and roll me an alchemy check. So when you happen to be inside there, even just walking up to the thing, your keen nose can pick up the smell of a bunch of different herbs and whatnot that happen to be inside there. Even just opening this thing, you can see that there are rare herbs that happen to exist there. And when I say rare, I mean things like wolfsbane and various other stuff that happens to be really good for alchemical reagents. And since she's a spellcaster, probably for spell casting, like whether they be spell completion components, or if they happen to be spell modification components, right? So there's definitely items of value that happen to be inside there. Fun fact, inside of her chest, you do find a secret compartment. That secret compartment is, when you pop that thing open, you actually see there is a gnarled, knotted rod that happens to exist inside there. So you can see that it's the way it's kind of built into the rim of where the chest is. It's meant to be something that's not easily noticed. So when you open the thing up, and it was put in there with perfect precision to the point where somebody making a perception check would probably have to beat something like a 30 to find, but crudely done beyond the fine craft of the precision. You have to assume she literally used magic, like a shaped wood, to make something so finely put in there, but with no hinges or any devices whatsoever. So you're able to just barely wiggle this thing out or smash it open, doesn't matter, to find this gnarled rod of wood that happens to be in there. Other than that, though, same idea. She has some correspondence that are inside there. But fun fact about those correspondence: some of them are written in actual letter format, same as beforehand. Also inside a little leather case that's kind of folded over. But some of them are written a little bit differently. She has little statuettes that are inside there. Go ahead and roll me a spellcraft check.
Oh crap. I do have points in it. Good.
Oh wow, Norway. Ouch. You know that these are almost like animal messengers that were brought down to what are they called? Figurines. So it's like somebody would have delivered an animal message, but instead of just delivering the message and just dissipating as an animal or flying off back into nature naturally, whatever it is, the animal then would have turned back into like a little figurine. So this is something that she would be able to hear the message over again if she needs to, kind of like keeping a letter on hand. So each one of those messages would only be 25 words or less, but there's a handful of them that are inside there. Now, knowing the command word to use them, that's a different conversation entirely, but there are messages that happen to be inside there, so you're going to snatch up these cute little figurines. And I do want to say cute, because they look like something you'd find inside a little kitschy shop. You know, like they're well crafted, crafted of stone. Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm just saying grandma would put them as knickknacks on her shelf. You know what I'm saying? And grandma's taste isn't the best, but hey, we love shinny, so it's all good. So the next one you go up to would of course be the guy with the sword. Ha 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 ha. So you go over to their chest and you open up inside of it. Inside there, you can see a wide array of strange things. So almost immediately, Jake, roll me a history check. Bootyful. So looking through there, you can see that there's as soon as I said that there was happens to be different outfits over there. Inside here also has a couple of different outfits and objects that are of interest to you. So the reason why you roll a history check is because it would be a praise to understand it better, but that doesn't matter right now. There's things in here that are invaluable. Like we're talking age-old bits of trinkets and vases and knickknacks and stuff like that that are like, wow, this is I've never even seen this design before. What kingdom did this happen to exist with? You know, so there's like a whole bunch of different stuff that you find inside there, even stuff from the Mole Empire, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that suggests that this person has been collecting stuff like this for a long time, and since you know a little bit more about them than the other two do at the moment, who knows how many hundreds of years they've been collecting this kind of stuff, or at the very least decades.
So for notes, these are mole relics and stuff.
Yeah, it's like art and relics, and so not just mole. It's just like lost kingdom
relics
and art. Yeah, cool. But also inside there, you can see the compartment that they usually when they open it up, you can see the same slots that match the slots inside the jacket that he was using beforehand to hold the powder inside of it. That thing looks like it can hold up to 20 different slots or whatever inside there, but there's no other filled things. There's no more of those like almost like papery kind of devices in it. The 20 slots in there are empty. So he must have grabbed the last 3 as he was whipping around to go handle you guys. But it is a nice compartment. Just looking over how that thing is designed, it is very waterproof. Like it is a well-made thing with like a double flap over itself and whatnot. It is well made. If we were to cut out the slot area, it'd be great for like storing your own stuff, or you could even put papers inside there and it would be wonderful. And it's relatively small too. Like toss it inside of a compartment in your he returned a haversack small, right?
It's not a bad idea. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna write that down. Waterproof compartment thing.
Yeah. And it's not very large either. So, but if you cut out those slots, it would make it even. It can hold a greater volume because you're not wasting space between those.
Yeah.
You get the point. Cool. Also inside their chest there, you also see a dagger that is very, very well made, and similar to the amulet they had. There's this like deep crimson, almost like garnet in color gem that happens to be in the pommel of it. That matches the one that they were wearing on their necklace beforehand. And then finally, the last chest in bed is important to describe because that bed is same size as the others. The chest is the same size as the others, but a couple of the outfits over there inside the cabinets were little sized. And then going through the opening the thing up and looking inside, you can see there is stuff in here written in Gnomish, which is exciting for you immediately, Jake, because Gnomish is the language of magic, and it is not without any value. Hidden inside that chest inside, there's a hidden compartment that you find instantly, not as nicely done as hers, and inside there you find a traveler's spellbook. Do you know what a traveler's spellbook is?
No.
Instead of having 100 pages like a spellbook usually has, it only has 50 pages inside of it. So
okay,
it's like a smaller, lighter version. It's what you use as like backup, so on and so forth. And kind of like leafing through it, you can immediately tell that this clearly is a spellcaster, right? Actually, I don't know if you would immediately leaf through it. Come to think of it, because of what happened last time, you just opened the book.
Yeah. Also, as soon as I realized that it's a mage, right? It's a spell book. The first thing I do is I have to. We haven't seen a gnome, have we?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to drink a potion of see invisibility.
Smart.
Immediately.
Oh, that's clever.
Okay. You don't see
anyone in the room?
You know, I mean,
do you have another see invisibility?
Oh my god!
Because
Oh my god! You see Gallon.
Do you have another see invisibility? Because I might go try and search for this guy who might have made a runner for it. If you don't, that's fine. But
I do.
If you think it's not worth it, that's also fine. Because there's a good chance I won't find him, even if I get see invisibility.
Well, what I'm thinking is we're like wrapping up now, right, Scott? Like this is kind of the last thing we encounter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep a lookout on the way back.
Cool.
But if you could, sorry to interrupt, but if you
so as soon as you open the compartment, and you see a book that you see a bunch of gnomish in the different writings or whatever that's here, and then you see that because I imagine you don't cast detect secret doors immediately. I imagine you guys go search through for a couple of minutes, and then you cast detect secret doors, and that's when you find like her thing's over here. It was a gnomish area. You see the compartment, you open up the book, and I imagine immediately once you see that book, you cast see invisibility as well, so you can look around and you inform him of the scenario. So then you would, because you wouldn't have even grabbed the, because of your paranoia, you wouldn't even grabbed the book until you did that, right?
Yep.
Cool. So then obviously you could have grabbed the book to read later on, right?
Yep.
Could you just do me a tiny favor? Can you go ahead and make a will save?
You know, I'm not really good at will saves, Scott.
Oh,
sounds like your problem.
He refuses. He will give you a reflex or a fortitude. Those are your options. Take them or leave them.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the fortitude save you have to make instead. You automatically fail your will save. Does that nauseate you? Make a fortitude save.
Will save.
Oh, it rolled off the 19.
That was so mean.
That's such a cock.
Are you good? Sounds like good. Awesome.
You got +2 against enchantment though.
So as you go to grab the book and you're going to pick the thing up, so to describe the book, it's like dark
book.
A dark brown leather to the borderline of being like a black leather. It has like a little bit of like metal work on it to where the lock would be to grab both sides and kind of like allow it to lock on the opposite of the binding, right, where the opening part of the book is. The metalwork is like a nice design or whatever. Honestly, it's one of those things where you could cast knock if you have the spell. You could pick it if you have somebody with skill. Or realistically, it's just a metal lock on a book. Those things aren't that difficult to open. You just get a chisel and a hammer and you can rip up one side and you're good to go, right? So as you go to pick up the book and you holding the thing, one bit of the metal, you didn't realize it, there's actually a bit of a barb in it, and that barb just barely pricks your finger. It's like,
oh, fuck.
As you, well, you don't have to suck on it if you don't want to, but it just barely pricks your finger. And that's it. That's all you need to know. You're good to go. No effects. No
I mean, I know a bit about AC. If my blood is anywhere, I'm going to spill acid all over the ground.
We're talking, if it drew a drop of blood, it's on your thumb. By like the 5th drop of blood that's going to be drawn from that tiny wound, your wound is going to have healed itself. We're talking, if you've ever pricked your finger before, it's like not really bleeding. It just pricked you like the tiniest little prick, like Neil.
Okay,
you know,
so nothing like
tiny prick.
God anyway. All right, well, I'll just chuck it in the haversack.
Okay.
Maybe it poisoned you. Maybe you should.
We'll find out.
Slightly perturbed.
Okay.
Well, it should be a fortitude save, though, right?
Yeah, it would be a fortitude save.
It might be a fortitude save later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you should just cut your loss and just lop the finger straight off, just clean off at this point. You know, like
he can always identify
might
later
not be
on if
wrong.
he needs to. He can identify these different things.
Yeah,
Cool,
we'll find out exactly what that was and how it's going to screw us later.
Yeah. So moving on. So so you also find, like, again, letters, correspondences, so on and so forth, wrapped up in papers there. Oh, no, you don't. No, that's not what you find when you go searching through there. You find a whole bunch of fucking blank papers. But later on, when you cast the invisibility and you look at it, you're like, It's good stuff right there. Otherwise, so you find that inside there. You're just annoying that you're gonna have to down a spell to be able to read it in the future.
To go through it, yeah.
Yeah, not the end of the world though. And these two schlubs are gonna have to trust your word. Just, good luck with that one. Anyways, and then finally, the last piece of furniture that happens to be inside there is the desk. When you go over to the desk and go searching through that, on the desk is where you find ledgers.
Hey, that's the stuff we want.
That have like the different things that they're importing and exporting, and clients and so on and so forth. Not clients by like direct name, but clients by like nickname, right?
Yeah.
So they won't be using anybody's like perfect names, but you can definitely see that inside there, as well as kind of like a log or journal, if you will. That they keep for themselves, because one of the things you realize as you're kind of like just quickly leafing through it is that because not everybody stays here all the time. Sometimes you'll have one, sometimes you'll have none, sometimes you'll have three. So they just kind of like log down whatever it is that they've come to decisions on, or so on and so forth. That way, if somebody happens to leave and come in, it's a kind of like flipping through the book. When I used to manage restaurants, this is one of the things that we did. We had like a manager's book where we at the beginning of every shift and the end of every shift, you had to read and write into that book, even if it was just initial your name or something like that to say that you did it. So it's kind of like that situation where they're logging back and forth to each other, because in a criminal organization like this, there needs to be a degree of trust and understanding and communication between one another. So that book happens to exist there, but also over inside the that thing, you with detect secret doors are able to detect a secret compartment. So and it's one of those fun things where it's like, it's funny what stuff they hide, because those two other things were hidden for themselves, not from other people. They're hidden from the others that they're even with, right? But even though the ledgers are right there on the fucking desk, one of the things that you notice is that inside the desk itself, it's like you pull out, desks always have like the drawers to the sides or shelves or whatever. Then you pull out the drawer that's like right by your lap. So you open up the drawer that's inside your lap, and then when you open up that drawer, like underneath that is a spot that you can kind of like pull out even more, and it opens up. Like goes and flops down a little. Inside there, you can find a couple more writs. Those writs are bonds of that have value in Paradel. Like these are bonds, like what your parents would buy into for your own, like for you and your brother. And so you're very familiar with these bonds. Looking them over, you can see that there's 8,500 gold pieces in Paradel value in bonds. Now, stuff like that, as always, you can like leave as a bond and it can continue to mature, so on and so forth. But otherwise, this is life-altering money for anybody, right? Like that kind of flow of gold is insane. And because they're bonds, they're not linked to any particular person. If you have a physical representation of a bond, that's it.
That's it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can buy into bonds nowadays, like electronically, so on and so forth. But if like Grandpappy died with a bunch of bonds in a safe box, and you open that safe box, you got Grandpappy's bonds.
Also convenient because they're not heavy.
Yeah.
Because 8,500 gold as it was would be uncarryable.
Did you guys write down the 4 different D100s before?
They weren't any. Like, I swear that they didn't actually happen.
Oh, the 0 D100s rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, so we need 4 different D100s rolled in chat. That's hilarious. I just scrolled
I
up
was
and I saw
watching
one.
for them.
They are flammable. Very good, Norway. But don't.
Oh, did we get one? No.
Noah's just like burn everything.
We didn't have one. Shitty rolled that for something else.
Yeah. I realized that when I saw that was only one. I realized that's what it was. So 42. I just need 3 other people to roll a D100.
It's because you did it too soon after the other one, V-Sword. It needs a little bit of time before it can go again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We got to do math, guys.
Cooldown is only 5 seconds. Oh, yeah, because you did it instantly. Yeah, cooldown is only 5 seconds. And just one more. But mine, you appeared first. Yeah, that's because, your local display. That's like actually when I'm telling a joke in Discord. Thank you guys. So it's 22, a 37, a 42, and a 55. So when I'm telling a joke on Discord and I'm upset because like I'm trying to slide in the tail end of my joke before somebody else comments, and like they both come in at the same exact time and I'm winning, I'm like, I crash the app. Like I swipe up wait a second, crash the app, wait 5 seconds and reopen it to see if my joke actually got there on time or if it happened after somebody else's like meme or whatever. And when it gets there, I'm like, yes, that's right.
Damn it. If only you rolled a little faster, Amanda. That was a great roll.
Amanda, we want to be happy, but instead we're disappointed. Okay?
No,
We're not angry.
No.
Just disappointed.
No, it's not Amanda's fault. It's other people's fault.
Whoa, you blaming me?
If it makes you better, if it makes you feel any better, you alone are better than Viking Magoo twice. So, just saying.
I'm out.
I'm teasing.
Goodbye.
I actually watched VSword stream for about like maybe 10 minutes the other day, but then I was leaving to go to Will's house.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I deserve that.
VSword has like a mellow, soothing voice. Like she's like playing a video game and just like totally shitting on herself the entire time. And it's like, it's really funny because she's like super mellow and chill. And it's like a soothing voice, and she's just shitting on herself the entire time she's playing the game. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know how you could be Aurora. What is it? No, I meant to say the snake eating the butt joke.
Aurora Borealis?
No, that's Northern Lights. It's
that's Northern Lights.
Yeah,
it's I know what you're talking about.
Of shitting, but Aurora Boreas. Thank you, Ouroboros. Ouroboros. God damn it! Because of my daughter's name, I immediately went.
That's where the Borealis part came from. I heard Boros in my head and was like, "It's that."
No, it was. And I said the Aurora part because my brain instantly goes there. So, but anyways, it was good. It was good. All right, back to what we are doing here.
And
VSword, just so you know, if you want to have an emote party, you can do so. I won't condemn you for it. You can throw all the emotes in chat that you'd like, and I support you in your emote enjoyment. So if you want to wave, say, pro trans flag or something like that, you are more than welcome to do that. You will not get booted from chat for doing so. I support your emote.
156 is what those rolls added up to. Is that how much gold we get?
Yes, across the different sacks. When you put your hand in all 4 sacks, that's what you find.
So we'll give you that up later. Or we'll probably just give it to the money holder.
All right, cool. So you go through all that. There was a long ass explanation, but you can imagine that it took you a long time to look through, and there's a lot to go over.
It's about this point where like, where's Triss? We should wait. We should probably go make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Viggo will collect their masks as well. Bringing their masks with us.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, you grab their masks off of their faces,
Yep.
and you're able to do that. So Triss, I imagine, didn't get the dead body thrown on the back of it yet, or did he?
He did.
Did you grab that necklace off of the dead body?
We took everything.
If he didn't,
Okay.
I can pick up the body.
If you put that necklace off of the dead body, I need you to make a handle animal check there, Neil, from before you left the cave.
And I'm walking down the street, and everybody that I meet.
So did you take the thing off? I didn't hear your answer. Did you take it off before he went, or is it still on there?
It would have been taken
we would
off
have taken it
before. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
Are you happy with your
Golden
14?
3.
Poor Amanda doesn't know the joke of the Daelric flumph. She came too late in the game for that joke.
The floof.
It's pretty OP.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic moment. That was like one of my favorite parts of the end of that campaign.
I love that I get to tell people that the
don't really
flump
wanna like
ended
this.
like a big bad boss of our campaign. A flump killed it.
It was crazy. Was it a 2020 confirm?
It was a 2020 confirm with it being prone because of Neil.
Yeah. Neil lying on his back as always.
I'm gonna watch that again one day.
Yeah, I know, right? Just go back and watch it.
Yeah. Alarella only just survived that, to be fair.
Yeah, there was very much an assumption that you would not survive it.
I mean, that just goes to show, don't mess with dads, you know? Not when there's kids involved.
Talking about me and Jake? Yeah, I agree. Don't mess with us, boyo.
Yeah, I mean, look at sweet little Percy back there. You try to mess with him, Jake could fuck you up.
Yep. Very true.
Speaking of Percy, Artie's just come up. What are you waiting for, Scott? I'm not lucking it.
Okay,
Yeah,
you didn't hear it confirmed, yay or nay.
I told you no.
Yeah, you're good. Carrick is not happy. Carrick starts reacting to this thing as soon as the necklace is removed from it, which I imagine is a bit of a peculiar thing. Like, as you notice that. But Carrick is not happy that it's on there. But as always, you just kind of like pet it on the head and whatnot. And no, it'll be okay, girl. It'll be okay. And throw the booty.
Brooks,
the
a boy.
booty. Sure. Throw the thing on the booty.
Don't
and,
misgender my horse, Scott.
Excuse me. Did you ask the horse? So the throw it on the booty and you head out to go get lost. Cause he's lost in the woods. So you look over to Viggo and you say, "Where's Tristan?"
Well, I think we've got everything we can out of here. Let's catch up with the boy.
Indeed.
As you make your way out of there, why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception check, the two of you boyos.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me find this gnome, please.
Yeah.
You just hear beeping from Viggo. It's like beep 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 beep.
That way.
Gnome detected.
You hear off in the distance different groups of people shouting to one another, but drawing nearer. It's like two different groups of soldiers that are making their way up, kind of like calling out their position.
We should go.
Yeah. Can I have Amanda roll me a D100 because you got cucked by V-Sword earlier? Listen, per Tash. I'm just trying to make recompense.
See, the thing when I was watching that, V-Sword like tried multiple times and other people cucked V-Sword and then V-Sword finally got through.
Sure.
So it was other people.
V-Sword was canonically cucked.
Is it
That's a sentence.
canonic cucking? All right, 33. So you guys are going to turn and hightail it out of there. How do you retreat? I mean, Tesh, do you just kind of like crouch for a second and then like fly out like up and away?
I'm going to be flying, but I don't want to be too far away from Viggo because I want to help him, but I also want to make sure I'm looking for
Are you still able to fly? Does it go on for that long?
It's a modification.
Oh,
It's until I change it to something else. I have it.
Okay.
Which actually reminds me.
So one of the things that you notice, Jake, as he flies like near to the ground, as he kind of walks out there and then just kind of like focuses for a moment, and then with his legs, he kind of like does like a little bit of a hop, but not much of a hop, not like a lot of strength. He just kind of like launches himself up just a little bit, what would be like 2 or 3 inches. And he doesn't need to make a check result because that's low enough that even in Pathfinder you could do that no problem. In 5 feet, it'd accidentally be like 8 feet up. Anyways, you can see that he then rises up fairly steadily, higher up than that. So he's maybe like a good 2 feet off the ground, but you can actually see the ground around his feet get somewhat displaced, almost like there's like a
heat ripples.
Force, force pushing down off of him, repelling him upwards. You can see that as the telekinetic energy is literally repulsing downwards to pull him up.
I'm also gonna drop my. I'm gonna use the transmute thing to drop my improved range attack, which means I can't get it back till we rest. To put Chameleon on as well, just so I can be a little bit less, obvious in the night sky.
Okay.
While I'm up in the air. Now this isn't the Chameleon Stone. This is the Chameleon Augment.
This allows you. You can do this as what, like a swift transformation.
Yeah, so remember we run into the downside of my other one last time. A normal Aegis can take an action to like swift to take an action to change to like any augment. I have a set list of augments, but I can swift action change into them whenever I want.
Oh,
but I
not,
can't
not
change
a number.
back.
I thought there was a specific number of times you're able to do this with.
No, that's the normal one.
Gotcha.
But you can do so. The normal one is
you're narrow but
times,
unlimited. Gotcha.
Any. Yeah. So, for example, I took off improved ranged attack. I can't get that back to we rest now because I can't switch back into it.
Yep. Completely understand. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So you convert again and to be there. And Jake, you guys are going to start making your way uptown, walking fast.
Just so we're aware, I can walk fast because, again, I'm an alchemist. I have potions, and I will do that.
Okay. Expeditious retreat.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So you're going to make your way up there. So as you start, guys, making your way out of this area, you're gonna have to try to find Triss. That's pretty easy, but it's still a survival check. I assume this is Tesh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So Tesh,
I'm following tracks.
Yeah, exactly. So Tesh, that's why I assumed you. I imagine you're not going to leave Viggo in the dirt, but at the same time,
no. The idea is I'm just getting an aerial view, but I'm staying near him.
Near him, and you can also leave your little spider thing on his backpack, so you can always connect with him within a mile.
Actually, yeah, that's a better idea. I think I might do that. So I'll do the change because I don't want to range attack anyway. So I'll do the blub blub and give it to him.
Yeah, I figured. It's one of those things where you just kind of like pat him on the back, and he's like, you're like nothing.
And it crawls out of the of the hand.
I love it. I love it. You're just like a douchebag Australian friend that like finds like a huntsman and just like puts it on your friend's backpack, like Gah! Did you guys know anybody like that will like put like a huntsman like in somebody's house or like?
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I've had someone do that to my old house. They brought a huntsman over.
To be funny. Intentionally?
Intentionally, yeah. They did it as a joke.
I hope you went kangaroo on their ass and beat the crap.
No, I don't mind huntsmen. Huntsmen are great. They kill all the other bugs that we don't want. They're just big.
I'm just saying.
I don't want them in my house, I'll be honest. No problem with them living outside the house. Like, cool, whatever.
I just like them because they're big enough that it's easy to stay away from them.
The Tesh walks into the bathroom, sees a huntsman in there, and he's like, "This room is now closed." He slowly
Not
shuts
quite like
the door.
that, but yeah.
He just
I do know people
cut
that
to
are
him
like that.
reading the newspaper, sitting on his kitchen sink. You know, like.
Oh no, I can tell you for a fact that shutting doors does not stop huntsmen. They are crafty.
You go to shut the door, it grabs the door, pulls it back open, and says,
No,
nah.
Not quite like that. There's
Nah.
a video of a huntsman on the back of a car, and it climbs in through the window like edge, and it was just like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like that video of the guy. He's like, he like goes up to his car with a can of compressed air and goes, psst, in the little handle where the doors are, like that sort of shape, and then a leg comes out, and then he goes, psst, and then a huge huntsman just like drops out, and he's like, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
Okay, let's go back to it.
But you can have more CGI fun. You just show a huntsman in the back of the car, and then you just see it like step through the glass into like literally it's like phase shift through the glass. But, like, huntsman get everywhere.
Do you know why the only reason huntsmen are deadly, like all the deaths attributed to huntsmen? It's in a car. You pull down the visor, the sun visor, and they fall onto your lap and you crash.
So funny.
It's because they like hiding up there.
Yep.
Oh.
Just have those removed from your car. Like, nope.
Okay, let's be kind to Jake and stop talking about spiders. I didn't realize it would affect him that much.
Oh, Jake's not that worried about spiders, is he?
He pulled off his headphones
did he?
real quick.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even notice. Oh, that's funny. You know who is upset by them? What the hell's his name? Keegan, Sir Keegan. Blah, you know. I won't.
Sorry, Jake.
Did you take those off because of the conversation?
Yeah, look, huntsmen are a thing here, right? I don't want to will them into existence.
I apologize. Let's get back to us messing up this.
Jokes aside, do you have arachnophobia?
No,
You don't talk about them because I understand
the
this.
thing being is, right, whenever you find a huntsman, it's a lot of the time it's up kind of like on the skirting board or something, like close to your roof, right? Now you can either spray it or you can hit it. You got to get close to it, and every single time they jump at you. Every time.
There
every
are so
single
many
time.
videos of people trying to do exactly that and having it just freak out at them. It's why I leave them be.
So
So
they react to you. Now hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Jake, you're a pretty smart person. Can you bear with me? Nobody uses them anymore because everybody looked like a tool bag when they had them. Can you buy fairly cheap and modify a selfie stick to have a boop? So you attach the can to a selfie stick and you hold it nice and far and goes and does it like right?
Like, my favorite video was someone.
Not a bad idea.
One of my favorite videos was someone had a Nerf gun and they like fired it at the huntsman, it dodged it, and then when they went to fire again, it started running at them.
All right, let's stop talking about it. That's freaking me out. Okay?
I'll be honest. I feel like having a cat is just the best defense.
Oh, cats
So
get
you
rid of them so
hold on,
fast.
so you can come into your living room and see like 3 huntsmen eating your cat. I agree. That's like high five huntsman.
Look at her
kitty.
on time.
There's
There's so many times where I get up and I walk downstairs and there's just like a half munched spider on the floor and I'm like, good girl.
Well done. But I love the videos
I'd like
of
to come downstairs and see a
people
half munched
holding
cat
cats
on the floor, but
like up to bugs, and they're like, for some reason the cat always knows my job is to kill the bug.
Jake just fucking sucked.
Okay,
I understand what Jake means though. There's this thing. You don't say quiet on a ward. You don't say it because things will get busy.
you don't say quiet on what?
On a ward.
On a ward, like
In a hospital.
hospital.
Oh, hospital
Yeah.
ward.
You don't-
Gotcha.
So someone will say, oh, it's quiet, and everyone
everyone's
will look
like,
at them and say,
"No."
don't say that. They will literally be angry with you, tell you what, like you're not allowed to say this.
I don't
And
believe
if
in
you have
jinx.
to say something like close to it, you call it the Q word.
Oh.
You never ever say it. It is.
But that's only if
incredible.
you're stupidstitious, you know, like
No,
it's,
everyone.
Yeah, but-
Everyone.
then y'all need to upgrade that education. It's not real. That's like saying I'm a Virgo. It affects my life.
Scott, when you have, there are certain jobs that when you like deal with a lot of like other human beings, you just those sorts of things, patterns emerge, and you're like, I don't believe in this shit, but also I'm not going to say that word.
I mean, I've worked at the public my whole life, and superstitions.
Like you get
I walk under
superstitions.
ladders.
I did
they
theater,
all
so I know exactly about
they
all
work
this stuff.
they work night shifts.
I've said
They
Macbeth
see
that I used to
people
be in drama.
die. They see people die, and you have buzzers that go off in empty rooms at night where people have died. Superstition is just a common thing.
Faulty electronics. I mean,
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah,
person they're dying was probably hammering on that button and frayed the wire. You know, like come on.
I mean,
Look, Scott,
if
the
you're
last
dying,
time
you're probably
someone,
not capable of that, unfortunately.
the last time I was in a production and someone said Macbeth in the theater, someone put their foot through the stage.
But
Nice.
that's a sheer coincidence. How many times did people say
Lose a
Macbeth
leg.
as a goof and nothing happens? But nobody marks that. You're only your brain is
Scott,
designed for pattern recognition. You
Scott,
go
we
in to look for
understand that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's not like a hard belief, but it's like, let's just go along with it just in case. Because, the worst is I don't say a word.
See, I'm the obnoxious person. I would say Macbeth many times loudly when everything goes off without a hitch. I'd be like, "See, your superstition's stupid." And
You
I'm
could have
obnoxious like
changed that sentence, Scott. Let me do like the Grammarly for you. Let's make that sentence clearer. I'm that obnoxious guy. Full stop.
And with that, we continue. All right. So
Yeah, we gotta find.
yeah, they have no idea
we
where
gotta
Crow
find
is, but luckily they find Tristan.
Yeah, where's Crow the huntsman?
No idea. We're gonna move past that. Jake was tolerating enough. So you guys find Trist. Trist is literally looking around, and I imagine to Trist, he's still looking for Crow. It's not like he's like, oh shit. You know, I imagine Trist is just so lost. He's just lost. And so he's like, at one point in time, he turns back to try to find this way back, but ends up finding himself into a new area. And he's like, I don't know. I do see an arrow in the tree here. Maybe Crow's this way. I just keeps like searching for Crow. So luckily you're able to find him because horse tracks are much easier to follow than people tracks. So
especially someone who's a spy and probably good at stealth.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. He's also good at archery.
Yeah, too fair. Too fair.
I'll make
Touche.
sure.
Don't come across any gnomes, do we?
No, you do not.
Invisible gnomes.
Here, how about this? Viking, you want to do me a favor? You want to roll me a d20 for his stealth check, for Crow's stealth check as he went sneaking off into the woods. That'd be great, thanks. Either way, you find Tristan after several minutes. You'll be able to find him tromping around in the woods. See, I'll just have chat roll for me from now on. Don't make me bring it to that. Well, I'll regret it.
Okay. So, we would have had a way to go after the plan thing, but this is one of those things where real life talking versus an in-game talking. Will you allow us to have had a place that we would have gone back to? Where would he have suggested?
We would have 100%.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We would have had a place that we go back to.
You had that place that you were at 2 sessions ago, right? Or your last session when you were making your plan. Yeah, the little cave area. Yep.
Pardon me?
So you grab Triss and be like, hey, Triss, the cave's that way. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just making my way over there. And
did I cough my camera into a different color scheme? Okay, sorry, continue.
So you guys are able to make your way back to your little cave area with relative ease. Crow is not there.
Ah, shit.
Well, he knows where to meet us.
Okay, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Virgil with them. I'm going to try and sort of look around the area. Let me...
She's so cute. Auntie's so cute.
I still have a good stealth. I don't have amazing stealth anymore, but I have a good stealth. I'm going to try and look around the area within... I'm not going to leave the mile radius. Aww. That cat is adorable. I'm not going to leave the mile radius.
What are you doing, Dad?
Yeah. And I'm just going to sort of search the area to try and see if there's any sign of Crow.
Sure. So you're just going to kind of like walk around and do another survival check to see if you can find him yourself, while the other two are just like taking a nap.
Yep.
Oh,
well,
I want to look at this book and see what the fuck is going on.
Sure. So let's do Tesh first with this check, and then we'll go to you because yours is a little bit more involved.
Here we go. Checking for any buffs before I roll because this is an important one. No buffs. No buffs.
You can't find him out there. No sign of him. Okay. Jakey Jake. How are you doing this? What's the plan? What are you doing?
Let's examine the book to start with.
Okay. It's a book, black leather, intricate metal design, so on and so forth. Now you see that little barb It's on that stabs you, little prick. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Wait,
Obviously
this
there
book
for a
has a
reason.
scar?
I already used that joke on you like 8 times earlier.
Mm-hmm. Sure
I
you
said
did.
both you are and you have. So, like, play it out. Go ahead, Jake. Oh, sorry, Macbeth
Oh.
out. So, don't wanna...
So there's obviously this thing is there for a reason, right? But why?
It could have
Good
just
question.
been faulty in design. Maybe it got hit against a rock and it shaved a little bit of metal, like, upwards, you know? Like,
Yeah, but it's a mage. And we don't trust mages here. I don't know if there's not really anything I can do to work out what it is. I mean, I suppose if I've got nothing to go on off the front, I'll try and open it.
What if
you want to disable device it?
that's
Daniel.
like a lock? Like it's like a tongue. And it tastes whoever's trying to open it.
Biometrics, magic style.
Well, if that is the case,
Such
it's
a
never
weird
going to open
description.
for me anyway. I'm hoping that's what it is.
And so,
Let's see if I can get it
Triss
open.
holds the thing up and he's just kind of like,
Oh.
No, it's like a tongue, not touch it with your tongue. God, Scott, your int's like a -3. It's like having a barbarian for a DM.
I just guessed your cat was under 2 years old and it's over 3, so.
It's fine.
I'm
I don't know
trying to
the
open
age
it.
of your child either, so.
83.
Ah, an elf. Or whatever the fuck the oldest species is.
Got?
What?
I'm gonna try and open it.
Yeah.
So what is it? Disable device?
If you try to pick the lock, then yes, disable device. I was like, what method would you like to use? Like,
It's probably a magic lock.
could be. It could be, but magic locks.
lock requires knock. That's the rhyme. That's the wizard rhyme. That's what they teach in Wizard Academy.
So if you do, let's see, Pathfinder.
Can you take it?
hold
20?
Portal, is it, or is it Arcane Lock? Is what it is. So it's hold portal, and then there's Arcane Lock. Arcane Lock. You can't take a 20 if failure would have a devastating effect. Are you?
Well,
trained?
you tell us. Can he take a 20?
Are you trained in
That's what
disable
you're doing
device
there,
or
Jake.
no?
Yeah.
I already told you. I already told you there's a
Okay.
physical lock on it. So if there's an
Yeah.
arcane lock was put onto this this thing, then you add 10 to the normal break open or whatever it is.
All right, so I have to roll it. I can't obviously take a 20. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, I don't even know what your modifier is.
Not high.
What's the modifier?
7.
Oh, taking a 20.
What's your modifier? Not high. What is it? 7.
7, yeah, I'm like,
Pathfinder. Pathfinder, man.
So the problem with taking a 20 is taking a 20 assumes that you're going to roll a couple of ones on the way to the 20. And if you roll low enough, you could jam the lock and break it.
Okay. Right, well, I'm gonna try and get it open. I have 2 Winifred's Wisdom saved up, so I'm gonna use one.
Nice.
Do I have anything else I can use to help me? No, I don't. Where is it? Alright, so add 5 on. All right. Damn it. So close.
Your roll of 17 was really high. You got a 30 disabled device. And just confirming.
Oh.
So for simple locks are normally a DC 20. An average lock is a DC 25. A good lock is a DC 30 in and of itself, confirming that nobody gave you luck. Nobody. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, green did give you luck. It says now ago. So, oh, and it says 1 minute now. Okay, so that means you actually should have had one luck because he popped it right before you did. Because you rolled that after he did. So you can go ahead and pop luck.
Shame on you, Scott.
Thank
Shame
you,
on
Green.
you.
Well, it was seconds difference.
Thank you, Green.
The Daddy's Dice was given 18 minutes ago. I already put that on there.
It got it to 30.
We
That's
got
the
30.
important
All right, we got it to 30. Though.
Okay, so
That is the main
just
thing.
That is
confirming,
pretty funny,
arcane
though.
lock cast on a door, chest, or magical locks it. You freely did it. So if it's a object is a lock, the DC to open that lock is increased by 10 while it remains attached to the object. So there you go. So if it's a good lock, which it probably is because it's a wizard's book, it's a DC 30. And if there's a knock spell on there, it's going to be, well, I should say it's probably an average lock, realistically, because of how you don't have a lot of space for like a super high quality lock. So it's probably an average lock. But then again, with the spell arcane lock put on there, brings it up the DC to 35. So unfortunately, you failed by 5. But in locks, it's more of a concern if you fail by even more than that. So it's one of those things where you bend one of your lock picks in even attempting to do this, but you did not succeed.
Get the lockpicking lawyer in here.
Yeah.
Now you see, of course, this, which reminds me, of course, of the Master Lock model number, which is just a knockoff of this old Soviet. That,
And I'm just gonna rake the. There we go.
Yep.
Done. 5 seconds.
Now this lock right here could be absolutely could be tricky to a novice lockpick, but if you have the right tools and a bit of know-how, you can. Oh, look at that! It's already open. Now let's just relock that and show you again to show you that it is not a fluke.
My favorite
And
people
it is not a
thing is, I don't know if it's the same person or not, but there's someone on TikTok who people keep trying to send them locks that they believe are unlike lockpickable, and like the amount of times you just and it unlocks, he's like.
Click on 1, click on 2, nothing on 4, click on 5, click on 1, click on 2, click on 3, click on 4, and done. Yep. And it's like,
wow. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, number 2
I don't
is
feel
binding.
safe anymore.
yeah.
I'm gonna put it back in the haversack then.
It's like with a little bit of lubricant, we can easily slip right into our back door. So.
Jesus.
Have you listened to his April Fool's episodes? Oh my god.
I can only imagine.
They are filthy. They are so filthy. Oh, Jesus.
Speaking of
I was
which.
slipping into the back door and here comes the wife. So, Brittany, thank you for breakfast. I appreciate it. Talk about the lockpicking lawyer. Yeah, isn't he awesome? Yeah, I like him. He's good. Oh, yeah, pure anonymity. Yeah, just his hands, and then not even attractive hands. She says. Wow. Brittany, I just want it to be known at 8:24 a.m. on the 9th of March, 2022. My wife body shamed the lockpicking lawyer. I want it to be known. Timestamp it. This will be used against her in the court of law. Yep. All right. We are not forgiving here. Those jokes will not be tolerated. All right.
I mean, I don't disagree with it though.
Okay. So, continue with the game. Mind you have somebody in Discord, like I don't know, like Burned Orb, who's like, but my hands look like his. All right. So, we were goofing off, so I got distracted. Sir, with your 30 total, you actually failed the check.
He failed, and he put it back in
I
his
gotta be right back real
haversack.
quick.
Yeah. Are you able to use another spell or any other ability to open this? Are you going to use any magic to try to identify these things? What are you going to do?
I don't have any. I don't have identify or any of that stuff.
Do you have
so-
detect?
Nope.
You don't have detect magic?
No.
Oh my god.
Not a thing. Yeah, not a thing. Alchemist, I don't think.
Good. All right.
I don't have a way to identify stuff. It sucks.
Do you identify with knowledge arcana?
First thing you need to do is be able to use detect magic to find out what school it is, so you can actually look at the
Yeah.
magics. Mm-hmm. All right,
Oh.
let's continue. You can't open it, but you know the DC now is at 35. So your check is good enough to at least identify the kind of lock, and then when you're like, this should have picked it. This absolutely should have picked it like 3 minutes ago. But it's not opening, so clearly there's some magic or something inside here, because like I can feel the goddamn pin. I can feel it, and it's bending my pick when I'm. Like,
It's binding.
you know that it's something's working against you there. All right. Anything else you guys are gonna do inside the cave? I imagine Tristan.
Well, how long are we
Tristan
gonna be
removes,
here
like,
for?
Well, he's gonna be searching for like an hour or whatever it is, right? So do you imagine Tristan removes like the chest plate to his armor and starts like fingering the dent that's right there to like identify like, wow, that was a really intense point of impact. He's got the pistol. He's kind of checking it out. I imagine he's not stupid enough to shoot it because he knows how loud it is. It literally
I pointed
deafened him for a few
directly
rounds.
at Vigo's head. Yeah, of course I do.
Whoa. We don't joke around like that. It's the United States. People actually do that.
Yeah, I just stuff it in my belt and you just hear a bang.
He's like, well, it's a good thing there was nothing to hit. So you, anything else, Jake? Any other? Just
I
reading
do
through
need to look
letters?
over the body.
Oh, sure. So what are you doing with the
To be
body?
honest. I'm trying to date it.
Date it? Is this
Yeah.
like a
Not
date
the
with
American
Markiplier?
date word. No.
Oh, okay.
The I want to know how aged
It just
it is.
just a dash in the like far distance.
What do you mean by American date? You guys don't use the word date? Like, oh, we went on a date. I ate that
Yeah, I
date.
was just applying Americans do that. You know, they good things.
They date dead bodies?
I don't know.
That's the thing we do here?
Look, I panicked. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? Did I miss a trend? Am I not cool? Do I need to get a corpse?
You're not cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
Sit back down at. Do I need to get
But
a
I do want to
corpse?
know. I do want to try and figure out how old it is.
Absolutely. You can certainly try to do that. That's going to be difficult to do, though, because, like, you don't have a lab or that science wasn't invented yet. So, why don't you...
And he's looked at old bodies before. How do you think he learned surgery?
Yeah, I mean,
You
look,
don't just
this
learn it
guy
from
could be
books in
dead
this
for,
day.
you know.
You don't learn it from books in this day and age. You learn it by cutting up people who've died.
He doesn't look at a body that's been dead for dozens of years or hundreds of years that's been supernaturally prolonged with necromantic energies to become a doctor, though.
Yeah, well, that's why it's so interesting. So we need to figure out what's going on.
I'll allow you to roll me a heal check. The DC is like, fuck you high, though.
Yeah, I'm not rolling a heal check.
Well, you can circumvent.
Heal. I don't even
You-
have
you-
heal.
You can circumvent.
Okay.
I understand what's actually going on, but just hearing it, it's like I'm gonna need you to roll a heal check. I'm not rolling a heal check.
Americans is going to need you to roll a heal check. Australian says, yeah, nah.
Modifying that.
Nope.
Okay. You can't identify how old the body is.
Can I identify that it's like pretty old or it's like old?
I mean, if you saw a dead body for like that's over 10 years old, that'd be pretty old. But like,
Is it a human body?
Yeah.
oh yeah. That I described the person originally as being a human.
Yeah, but you didn't describe them originally as undead, did
No,
you? So,
you didn't know that. I said, eat the cat out the window.
she says, meow.
So, anyways, Jake, you looking over the body for the rest of the time, nothing. Tesh, you come back, nothing. You guys just failed for an hour.
Fuck. Fuck. What
Oh,
now?
well, I guess we do whatever the plan was. I don't know if we stay the night here or we go or whatever it was.
Okay. Are you gonna stay here for the whole night?
How close is it that we are?
I mean, remember, you're supposed to be within like a quick travel, so like maybe 2 miles or so of where everything just took place. Maybe
Yeah,
a
originally
mile,
we
whatever
wanted
it
to
was.
get back to the town quickly, but I don't know what we should do with given the current situation. Crow, I think, given we have another way to get in contact with Crow, and he knows where we live, where our apartment place is, I think we should start heading back.
Yeah, I agree. Putting some distance in between us and them is.
I think being here,
Probably the best thing.
they're going to be searching. Whatever leadership is left won't last long, I think, but they might still order people to search the area.
Yeah. All right, so let's.
So instead of spending the night, you guys
Make
are gonna
some
just
distance.
you spent like an hour and change after you finally got back to the little cave that you have. You spent an hour and change looking at the different bits of equipment, trying to find crows, so on and so forth, and then finally you're like, we're outie. You grabbed up your supplies. This probably took another, like, say, 10 minutes or so to get everything completely situated, and then you guys start heading out of there and heading back to town itself.
Oh, we're just leaving our rendezvous? What if he's wounded?
The thing is, we can't find him, and
Yeah, but what if... But he knows this is the rendezvous, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to leave anything behind for him, like a note or something?
Well,
What's
like
the point?
Gal said, he knows where we live. Like, where we're staying.
what would give to I think a note to say that, you know, not a note, like something that he would know was ours, so we know we came back and left. Even
We'll
if he
leave
doesn't.
that body here.
He's a skilled
There's
tracker.
nothing I can do with it.
If you can't do anything with the body, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna leave the body there, and leave because he's concerned about injury. Do you want to leave behind some potions? Like leave behind a
Neil
heal
has a
potion
whole
too?
bunch of potions.
Wow.
I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
I can leave a potion of cure light wounds.
Yeah, I can too.
Okay, so there we go. So hopefully he'll be able to heal himself up if he comes back in here.
Neil agrees with your body shaming. He thinks that the lockpicking lawyer has unsavory to look at hands. Yes, and that's uncomfortable. You can leave now.
I think I'm glad that we couldn't hear what was said.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right. All right. So I always tell Brittany, I'm like, PDA includes the internet, Brittany. Come on, man. All right. Ah! Did you hear her?
I didn't hear what she said, but I just heard that she was there.
She said, squeak, 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 squeak 'em. So, no, she said they can't see me, but in like a really high-pitched, fast voice because she's an angry chipmunk. So, it's a good thing I wasn't picking up my very hot cup of coffee to take a sip, which I'm doing now. So please don't scare me. Okay.
I half expected her to scare you.
I was watching
him.
so I could see her up here.
I like your mug, Scott.
Oh, thank you. I work on it. I don't cut my hair. I barely maintain my beard. I shaved this morning down here. You know, thank you. Speaking of thank yous, thank you for the 100 bits and minutes now. So continuing with you, Neil. You guys walk away and just leave it all behind. I believe you leave behind, was it 1 potion total or 2?
2 cure light wounds.
Perfect. And then you guys leave the dead body, so he kind of knows what that means. And you GTFO. You start heading back, but again, as we talked about beforehand, it's kind of a longer trek. Not like insanely long, but after the night that you just had, you probably don't necessarily. It's up to you. Would you want to make it all the way to town or no? I'll tell you right now, making it to town at normal travel speed, which you're gonna have to move at normal travel speed because Jake's the weakest link here. At his travel speed. It's going to take 3 forced marches to get there, which is just a 10, 11, and 12 fortitude save, respectively. Nothing crazy.
Don't we have a wagon somewhere around here?
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't we have a wagon?
No, it was a merchant. It was hired. How much does Viggo weigh?
I'm sorry?
How much does Viggo weigh? 80 pounds.
180.
180.
Plus equipment.
Oh, yeah, you could ride on... Because I can up my speed. Like, I can switch everything to speed.
But putting 2 people on the back of a horse is not how saddles are designed. It doesn't have the weight in an ergonomic way for the horse, so it actually can hurt the horse. Saddles are designed to distribute the weight of your whole body across like certain areas of the horse for its longevity. You just throw a random other person on there for a whole day's trek, you could easily slip a disc for the horse. And then we know what happens when a horse gets injured. Atelier comes over, stabs it in the throat, and then butchers it in the middle of like a walking path to keep some of the meat for future use. This is what we do. She's a witcher. There was valuable components and food in there.
I missed that.
So.
Okay, so that's not an option then. Is that the case?
That would not be wise. Carrick would have to make different fortitude saves.
I guess we're going to have to make forced marches then, I suppose.
If you want to make it there in the one fell swoop, absolutely. So it's just 3 fortitude saves, nothing crazy, 10, 11, 12 respectively. That should be easy for all of you. Barring like a really bad die roll, that should be easy for you guys.
Yeah, I'm also going to, since I'm not going to get any bonuses from this unless I really opt into it, I'm going to drop my armor for the crystal armor. Just because it will be easier when we get to the city. And also less inconspicuous.
Yep, and then also, it only really matters if you fail twice. So go ahead. Bloop, 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 all 3 of you.
Whoa. Where's mine? Oh, I failed one.
Gallon. No, hold on. That was your first check, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, the first check is a 10. The second check is 11. The third check is a 12.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Looks like everybody succeeded across the board so far. This is the last check, I think. Yep, everybody succeeded across the board. No issues. Let's keep going.
Yeah, this is where the dark mode thing comes in. Like, I can't tell whose is whose.
Carrick has to roll 3 as well, but again, only matters if he fails twice. So, whenever you get a second, Neil, no rush. Anyways, so you guys make your way a forced march back there. Needless to say, your characters are exhausted. Your legs hurt, your bodies ache. You even sustained some injuries, even though you took healing potions.
Surely Carrick's not going at a forced march though, because his base speed is so much higher.
But it's amount of time. It's not. It's the length of time that's being traveled. So it's traveling.
Yeah, sure, but he's not. He's essentially not doing a forced march. He's doing a gentle stroll.
Pertains to how much time you travel, not speed at which you travel, because that's hustle versus normal. Forced march is greater than 8 hours of traveling.
That seems really stupid because he could complete this by running there.
Sure, but that
in a short amount of time.
Sure. Now I can work a 10-hour shift with a difficult job or a 10-hour shift with an easy job, but that 11th hour is going to be equally draining for both jobs.
Yeah, but if he works hard, it's only going to take him 2 hours, 4 hours.
But that's not how the mechanics work.
So yeah, but it just seems dumb if it works purely off time.
If you want to tweet,
it'd be off exertion.
If you want to tweet at Paizo, you go right ahead. But for now, we're sticking to raw. Okay.
It's one of those things where
it's like I can't run for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I could walk for 3 hours.
Sure. The rules include that as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I understand, but like I think the idea is, Neil, if I wanted to then avoid the forced march, I could amp my speed up to insanity and be fine.
No, you wouldn't,
that,
because it's based on time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm saying
no, you couldn't avoid it.
His is indefinite.
Yeah, no, but you couldn't. You couldn't avoid it because it's based. I'm not saying your speed increase is based on time. I'm saying the forced march is based on time you're moving for.
Yes, Neil, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, but
you
can't avoid it. You can't avoid it by upping your speed.
I think they've chosen to do that, so I can't avoid it by doing that.
Which seems monkey. Because there's a
We
need
rules. We need order.
It's a game. It's one of the gamification.
Like there's a reason we use horses, right?
Yeah, Neil, it's one of the gamification things to balance. Because otherwise, like it'd be one of those things where everyone has to have a horse all the time, or you're screwed, sort of thing. Whereas in this case, we can have one person with a horse in the party and doesn't fuck over the other two.
Just like how combat makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, but Triss is walking. Triss isn't on Garrett's back.
Oh.
Hence why he rolled fortitude saves.
Oh, no. Even if you're on Garrett's back, you have to roll fortitude saves because it's exhausting sitting on a horse.
For the exact same amount of time? That's just so wrong. Like, it should be like
we've been
double the
Pathfinder
period.
for like 4 years.
I'm sorry. Pathfinder's wrong. 5e is now the better edition.
Hold on, I'll take care of Messi. Give me
he's done it.
4e bis.
There you go. That's a care of Messi for us. So, no, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, so the back to the game. You guys are able to travel the whole way. Oh crap! That's porked everything. I wish we could know. So you guys are able to travel the whole way back to the town. You're able to get there not in the morning, not like pre-dawn or anything like that. It's going to be late morning. We're talking like maybe 10 in the morning or something like that by the time that you return. While you're traveling there, I want you to go ahead and roll me perception checks, each of you. Just one check.
It was like, you gotta get that one.
Waiting for the third one.
Neil?
Neil.
Hmm?
Perception check.
Perception check.
Why?
Because we're all doing one.
Yeah, it's
but
on your travel back.
I have a plus zero. What's the point?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You can forego. You can just say you're counting.
You did pretty damn well.
Oh, all right.
I got a 16 in Pathfinder. It's not worth it. Good job. I rolled a 5 in D&D 5e. The superior.
A 15 is like an average roll, whereas a 10 is like a simple roll. So, we are going to give it to. He's not wrong though. We are going to give it to Gallon. So, Gallon, one of the things that you notice as you guys are traveling is the roads in the morning, in the later morning as you're traveling, you can see people are going the opposite direction and are coming this direction for like trade and so on and so forth, as you can imagine on the roads. But you also notice that there are some people that are moving on horseback rather quickly to get from A to B. You can see, like, as you're getting close, like the town is off in the distance, there are a few people that are riding on horseback from the direction that you came that are moving as swiftly as they can to get from A to B. They similarly look very, very tired. Like, they probably didn't succeed all their fortitude saves as they're making their way to the town themselves.
I will inform the other two of that. The info dump. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know.
How many?
3. There are 3 of them, but truth be told, as you're watching in Gallon, I mean, he's like, how many? And you look over, you're like 3, and now you guys can see them as well. Gallon's looking at one of them. I don't know how you want to phrase it, Gallon, but one of them is like slumping, and like they look like they're about to fall off their saddle. Like, they do not look okay.
I would say it basically like that.
You think we should stop them?
If we can get to them before they get to the city, then how far out of the city are they?
So you guys can see that it's one of those things where as you're going over hills, you can see that at the apex of a hill, at the top of a hill, you can see the city off in the distance. But as soon as you go back down a hill, it blocks the view again. So maybe like 3 miles.
How far away
There
from
might
us are
be
they?
very valuable intel in here, and it looks like they may be warning people.
You can tell
We
there
can
are
stop
other
them, we
travelers
may
on the
have
road.
some-
So there's going to be almost no way of nobody seeing this. But because there are other travelers on the road. But you can potentially do it out of sight of the city. I'm sorry, Jake, continue.
What I'm thinking is if we can stop these 3, I could then talk to the was it the BC? Is that who was in charge here?
Yeah,
BC
I think I had it
and
written for you.
set up some checkpoints into
Rylar.
the city from at least this direction. Hopefully stopping any
Ooh.
other
I have an idea.
extremely tired people.
This is one of the opportunities where our rank might come into play. If I get to the city first, I can stop them from letting them in and like apprehend them.
Like actually use authorities instead of going vigilante
Yeah.
style.
That would be ideal.
So it's just ideal. He
okay.
can do it. There's no question in his mind. He's like, move over,
Let
Carrick.
me,
I move quickly. All right, so remember, you haven't rested yet. Your character luckily isn't fatigued or exhausted because you've
Lovely, but
you
even if I
succeed all
have
checks.
to get fatigue or exhaustion from this, it might be a good idea.
You probably won't unless that ability kicks it in. So the thing is, if you were fatigued or exhausted, this is why I had to make you make those rolls, is you wouldn't be able to run or charge, and that would slow down your options.
Oh yeah, that would definitely slow down my options. Okay, so
Have
here's
them
a
see if
fun
you can have
thing.
them detained, like actually
Yeah.
detained.
Because that's what he's going to do. Yeah.
So what's really cool is, oh no, okay, no, I can't use the expeditious retreat. That's one I can't do because it hasn't been a day, right? Cool, good to know.
Oh, that came from your
then
cloak. That's why. Okay, I understand.
Yes, that came from my cloak.
What's that cloak called?
But do you need
Hedge Maid.
expeditious retreat? Do you need that?
I
I have a potion that I can give you.
I will have a run speed of 200 as is. How long would that take me to?
It's not really worth it for you.
You have a run
I just
speed of what?
realized.
200?
200, yep.
Is it an enhancement bonus? Because they won't stack.
It stacks with all my
Oh,
stuff.
thank you, Norway.
All my speed boosts are just flat increases, which is fantastic. Nice. Yeah, it's why the Aegis works so well.
So a typical horse.
It's like the idea is it's modifying my body to do this stuff, essentially.
Yeah.
A typical horse has a speed of 50, and they can run 5 times their speed. So they can run 250 feet for the average horse if they are not laden. The average horse has a carrying capacity of what's their strength? 16. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I have a better idea.
I'm just trying to answer your question as to whether or not you can just flat out outdo it. I'm almost got an answer for you. A 16 is a 76, and for a large quadruped, that is what times 3. 76 is 150, 225 pounds. I would say one person is way too tired. You would definitely be able to outpace them. One person, they're also looking pretty tired, and the horse is looking pretty slump. You could probably outpace them because that horse probably can't run or charge. The other one can run and charge, but the person guiding the horse is just trash. I'd say the third person is the concern here.
I just had an idea about how I
can slow down a singular
Trish go
person.
as well. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was. That's one suggestion I was going to say is you try as well, but also, going from point A to point B along this road wouldn't be a direct path, would it? And it wouldn't be smooth because terrain. What I'm saying is,
the non-smooth terrain would be going up the hills, and then but the overall it is smooth because it's a road, right?
If I were to give myself 60 foot of flight speed, would that be better? Actually, that flat out. Never mind. That flat out would be faster than my running anyway. So I'm going to do that.
Holy shit! 100, Norway. Thank you so much.
Let me double check that I can do that. Flight. Okay,
Won't
I
people see
gain
you
20
flying?
foot for gain 20 foot for each additional thing, so I could get the exact same move speed but flying. I can still have a chameleon augment.
All right. If Triss is gonna intercept too, I quickly pull out one of the masks and I say, put this on. It might give them like some pause.
Tristan's like
all the masks.
pull his helmet
all
off.
the masks.
Oh, he has his helmet. We have the Black Knight masks.
Yeah, but
Aren't
the other thing is, remember there are people
unique?
on the.
Won't they know
For
that
the
those are the
leaders.
people who've been killed?
I would say that they may know, but these guys might be just like grunts who don't really know much.
They look tired.
Yeah.
Vision.
We only need to slow them down for Gallon to make sure he gets there with enough time.
I can do that.
If they do
Okay,
recognize it, that'll put the fear into them, won't it?
And make them run faster.
In the opposite direction, maybe.
Possibly.
So, Scott, would
sir.
flying be faster? Just because if if it's not going to be a drastic increase, then it would be better to run on foot because I can do faster on foot slightly.
How much faster can you on foot? What's your speed?
No, I can do. Actually, I think it might be 50 on each, but foot I don't have to. I can camouflage and I can sort of be a bit more stealthy. So 50 both ways.
50 both ways. Okay. So then, what's the question?
How much of a boost is it to flying straight over?
Oh, it gets rid of the areas where it's like a rough terrain and they have to slow down because they're kind of going up a hill or whatever. It would absolutely give you lift off of that. Absolutely. But you can imagine if you want to do like an expeditious retreat or whatever it is, so you're running at some points. So it's like you did jump and you fly up over the arc of a hill and then hit the ground at the top of the hill and start running because it's faster. You could 100% do that. It'd be like a really badass. Imagine like the Flash, like speed running up a hill, like up a trail and then jumping a hill, and then speed running down the other side. Idea. Right?
What do you think? Because your potion that I'd be using, because you said you had one.
Yeah, it's fine. It's 50. It cost me 25 gold to make.
Oh, then yeah, I'll take expeditious retreat.
Sir,
in that case, my land speed would be 80.
Yeah.
So 320 run. My flight speed would be 50.
Okay, which is only 200. Okay. So because they consistently can roll higher than you, and so they are higher than you sometimes, lower than you sometimes, and whatnot, we're going to bring this down to a skill challenge. But the skill challenge is going to be in your favor. So this actually gives you, from his spell, I'm going to give you a +4 to your acrobatics check, and you're going to go ahead and roll me in acrobatics. Neil, I know that the idea of you is to attack which one?
To intercept the fastest rider.
So you want to try to catch that fastest rider first. What is your maximum speed? You do not have the run feat, but Carrot can have his speed increased, I believe, unless you already used that ability, which I think you did, but you might have more than one use. Tesh.
How much bonuses? Because I know I get a bonus to acrobatics based on move speed. This is something I always forget how it works.
My apologies. That's where your bonus to acrobatics should come from. My apologies.
Oh,
so
okay.
it is 4 per 10 feet above 30. So if your speed is 50, then it is +8.
So that's in the air. On land, I have at 80 speed at the moment.
So that is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 plus 20 to acrobatics.
Oh my god. Okay. So do I do plus 20, or how do you want me to do this? Considering
that's the
mix?
rules. +20, absolutely. Oh no, mix. Okay. That's a good call out. I'm so sorry. So we're saying we're playing.
Mix.
We're saying +8 and +20, but we're gonna lean towards the running side. Let's go with the +15.
Yeah. +15. Okay.
Neil, what's your total speed?
Carrick moves at 200 at a run. I have the lightning rider feat. And Spirit's Gift resets at the start of the day. So he used it yesterday and can use it today.
Okay, if it doesn't say that it requires a full rest, it says that the next
Still
day,
good,
then
but
that's
it's
perfectly
not
fine.
amazing.
No, although a shaman would need an hour of preparation, this takes you no time.
Okay, cool. And you can get his speed
So
to
he
a grand total of.
can ignore difficult terrain, to be clear.
And what's his full speed? Is it just the 50?
His full speed is 50 plus 10 when charging.
Okay, plus 10. So is it? So just to be clear, when running or charging, so when you're running, your speed is ×4. So 50 times 4 is 200. Does that mean it's 210? Or does it mean your base speed goes up to 60, which times 4 equals?
When mounted and making a charge, your mount speed is increased by 10 feet.
Your mount speed. Okay, then that sounds like pre-multiply, which is good news. Okay, there you go. I just had to apply channel points to people because the thing's still borked. All right, so you, sir, are you make your so you're going to be in this fight as well. I'm going to have you go ahead and roll me for Carrick, though. It doesn't have to be an acrobatics check. For Carrick to push hard like this, you can make it a your choice.
A choice.
Ooh, you can actually do something else too. Oh my god. Which would make it a ride check, by the way. Pathfinder ride. There's actually an ability called Spur the Mount. Spur the Mount. You can increase the mount speed by 10 feet for 1 round, but it deals 1d3 points of damage. It cannot be used on a fatigue thing. Obviously, Carrick would be fine with this because, like, you take care of Carrick most of the time, so you have to be like, but the poor horsey. And this is just, this is based off of a misnomer. Like, people didn't used to actually, like, stab their horses with the spurs, right? They're used to lock.
Sure, he'll kick Carrick into high gear, but he doesn't wear spurs.
Yeah, exactly. Spurs are a Western thing, but either way. So why don't you go ahead and spur them out to DC 15 ride check? But you can roll that and then separately roll your skill thing, like Tess just did.
Raylor was the person BC Raylor was the
again.
person we report to, right? I'm just trying to work.
What am I rolling?
Say.
Yeah, but you're going just to the guards at the gate, right?
Yes, but I also I want to send someone so we can organize a proper blockade sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a beautiful roll there, Neil. Sorry, my wife just sent me pictures of my daughter reading Cat in the Hat this morning. So so you guys both succeed. I have to go ahead and make my die roll now.
Also, to be clear, if I make it to base contact with this rider, I'm non-lethally, like, unhorsing him. I'm hitting him with the lance non-lethally. I put my little whatever it's called.
Guys, all this build-up. I'm not even. Neil, make your attack roll. Like all this build-up for these skill challenges, I rolled natty 1, which means I failed the whole round, and that's gonna set me so far behind you two. It's not even fucking worth it. All this build-up, what an anticlimactic result. Because Jesus looks down at me and says, "Keep saying Macbeth, motherfucker."
Say I've got a lot of attacks to just go through. Not that one. That one.
That hits, and you're just trying to unseat them.
This is non-lethal damage, essentially.
You can go ahead and roll
You're gonna roll.
What happens if you do 6 times somebody's health point pool as non-lethal damage?
They go unconscious for a really long time.
Yeah. Like, so let's say somebody has 10 health points, just for argument's sake, and you make them negative 49 health. They heal at the rate of, let's say they're level 2. They heal at the rate of 2 health
God,
points
he's gonna starve to death.
They're gonna get a fucking coma. Even with proper
you can't
bed
go negative
care,
on non-lethal, though, surely. You can't go negative on non-lethal.
No. Listen. You heal with proper care.
Rules
3 times
as
your
written,
level.
Scott.
Yeah, this is what you get, Scott. This is what you get.
You like it raw, Scott? I'll give it to you fucking raw.
59. Jesus.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's like,
shot any of us.
oh, if I crit them, we could just add a 1 on there. Who cares about the math? Just add a 1. Oh.
That's like, I remember in Critical Role, one of the characters tried to non-lethally like bap a kid that was annoying them in like with the back of a dagger and crit, and he killed them, and he's just like, oh my god.
They become Sleeping Beauty. There you go. All right. Or he becomes Prince Charming and he's waiting for Sleeping Beauty to come by and wake him up. Slumbering Queen, where are you? Jake's calling you.
Yeah, have her appear right now in this huge open field. I'd love that.
So.
Yeah, that's
She casts Sleep. Make a will save, Neil.
Oh.
Okay.
Just... That is Triss's weakness.
Go ahead, roll it. Just for funsies. Go ahead.
Natty 20, I believe.
I've clicked it.
It's just taking a little while. Oh, that's not a natty.
And go ahead, roll Carrick's will save.
See, look.
Carrick's fine.
It's a 19.
Roll Carrick's will save. And finishing out this mental exercise, Carrick continues traveling. No, that fails too. So both Carrick and you fall asleep. Carrick's
Wait a minute.
Wouldn't they then immediately wake up because they took damage?
I mean, I imagine, yes. Carrick
would be like, that wouldn't really work.
He would wake up in pain. The Carrick would still be snoozing, you know? All right, cool. All right, moving on. Man, sleep spells in modern campaigns are horrifying. Imagine you do
Really?
a high-speed chase, you just cast sleep on a random truck driver. Like,
Oh my god.
right? Yeah,
That is terrifying.
Right? Exactly.
I honestly think sleep is one of the strongest spells.
Come on.
It's very versatile.
Come on. Turn right.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, moving on. Luckily, the wind is so fast that they might not hear the command. They're like, I'm right. I know it. That's right. MAGA. Oh, now that's a miss. Now you're just saying, oh, truck drivers are Trump supporters. Listen, that's true. I've seen what happens on the Canadian border. So, sorry. I don't know if you see it on your news down there, but.
Oh, no, we see it.
Oh, yeah. Moving on.
We had our own attempt, did one that did not work. Like, it did not go well.
Yeah. Yep. It's one of those fun things where your parliament just steps forward and says, "You don't have that right," and then they put back in their homes.
Al.
They met a flock of emus, all right? No one wants to talk about it, but they met a flock of emus, the age-old enemy of Australians. It didn't go well. Outmaneuvered at every turn.
One day, we're just going to release cassowaries onto the US and see what happens.
We got guns. More.
Aren't cassowaries smaller than emus?
They are, but
They're more
significantly
deadly.
more lethal.
They're
But
more
that's okay.
deadly. What?
But it's okay because we've got the pigs. The pigs will take care of it for us.
Yeah, like it's just a charge of 30 to 40 wild hogs versus some cassowaries. Yeah.
Now that would be a battle.
You know?
Oh, we got 45 minutes left. Let's do it.
I won't lie though, but the idea of like the Australian government dispersing a crowd of protesters with emus is just amazing.
That's terrifying.
Just like riot police on emus.
We need that TikTok lady with the emu that she controls with the force to be unleashed on them.
Oh. All right. I'm sorry. Let's keep going. Oh my God, it's amazing. So, you guys easily you go to ride ahead of him, Tesh, and not only are you out riding him, you do like a quick glance back. You're like, awesome, I got ahead, and then you glance back again, and you see Triss just kind of like nod at you, having just like finished coming to a stop, and he's turned sidelong and nods at you as the other two are kind of like galloping past Triss because he's just like, did what I needed to do, and you're just like, oh. Okay, and you just keep your sprint up ahead to get up there. It's a short enough sprint because of your speed that you actually don't need to make any fortitude saves. You just get up there and you're like,
I
obviously
would change like out of sight and run up because I don't want to run up.
They're like watching this guy run up and then he steps by the tree.
I assume
and then
that
pops back out.
If
Talon.
You're not Crystal, remember? He's got the crystal for him, so you get all your augment sans crystal.
Yeah. So I'd still be like, suit
exactly.
So
you go directly up to them, and the guards seeing you sprinting up and whatnot. It's one of those things where they clearly add attention.
Right.
You can see that the two guards that are typically standing outside the gate, they are stepping forward by like a solid, say, 85, 90 feet to meet you that far outside the gate. You can see they've already called into the gate. So many guards that were immediately inside the gate have come to stand outside. So there's like a wall of like 5, 6 guards right in front of the door, 2 that are met you further out. And you can imagine there's a couple of posts on the walls that are alert. So you've clearly drawn their attention.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that like I won't be able to change back at any point in this. So I will be looking crazy for them. They're not crystal, but still crazy, and not monstrous, but weird. I would first of all I would pull out the papers immediately and hand it to the walk up with the papers to the closest one, and just I need this checkpoint locked down. There's people on the way that may be trying to warn others of a situation, criminals.
They look over the papers really quickly. They look behind their shoulder. They call out someone's name. That person comes rushing forward. You can clearly tell it's the officer that's in charge of this particular gate. Officer's rank here happens to, there we go, be an LT, Lieutenant Tactician. So they'd be an LT, which is just under Jake's rank. And they would absolutely nod. They'd say, with us. And they would kind of like pull you back to the checkpoint, so the whole line of them are there.
Yeah. So the first thing I would say to him is, I apologize. There's no time to drop my magics, but we need these locked down.
He nods. You guys looking out. Now, the people running up, they're not dumb. They see the lock point that's kind of there. So they start deviating to go a different way into the city.
I would immediately point it out. Those 2. We need them apprehended now.
He nods. He looks to 2 others, calls their names, and says, "Run now." And you can see 2 people run into the city to start making their way over to the other entrances into the city to get those on lockdown first, to make sure that they're good to go. He looks at you and says, "You're pretty quick."
That's the idea.
Let's hunt them down.
He says, he mentions the final way into the city. He's like, "You can get there quicker than any of my people the way I just saw you move. Hold up." He quickly writes something very quickly, hits a stamp onto it, and then gives it to you.
Thank you. And I would zoom.
Yep, you go, boom! Needless to say, eventually those 2 kind of go the other way. These 2 come walking. At this point in time, Triss, if you wanted to grab Viggo and throw him onto the back of Carrot, because this is hours of travel, this is going to be 20 minutes ending of travel, you can absolutely... I mean, you have that unseated person. Oh, Jake, there's a horse there for you.
Cool. Nice. I'll take that horse, and we'll take the guy with us as well.
Yeah, he's we'll say unconscious. And
yeah, we can put him. We'll put him on the back of your horse.
Stabilized, just hopefully.
And presumably, we're in relatively flat land. I can see what's going on.
Once you go over the next hill, you'll be able to see what's going on. Yes. So you'll be able to see it at the tail end. Yes.
I would move to try and help Gallon then in that case.
Gallon went through the city, so...
he went through the city, but I can see them diverting, right? Yeah. I can see them heading right.
Yeah.
I would choose to follow one of them.
Sure, but before you do that though, because obviously you're kind of getting the horse, do you
Sure.
Do you get the horse for Viggo, or you just kind of one of those things, once he's unseated, you kind of look back and you say, "Got one for you, BT," and then ride on and leave him to his own volition?
Oh no, he'd give him a good old pound in the nose and the neck.
Okay, so then go ahead and roll a handle animal to make sure you calm down the horse, because it just had its rider throw it off of it, and this is not a combat horse.
Good horse.
Boom.
Very good horsey.
Boom. So that's easy for...
What? Yeah, hang on.
My 3D dice was a 16 there, and I said 3.
Oh, yeah, I was like, you rolled a 16. Hang on.
Damn it.
It's cuck-died. So you you calm the horse down, give it a good pet. So when Jake gets up to it, it's going to be relatively easy. Jake, you spend the next minute and a half struggling to get this person up onto the horse, because you don't have a lot of upper body strength or lower body. Mm-hmm. You're not a very strong person. So I
have a 12 strength, all right? I'm not
well,
really
he's
weak,
above average.
How many times
the same strength as Mortifer in Warmonger?
Yeah, but Mortifer's got his stature to him. His reputation too.
That is true.
Yeah.
Did you just call him short?
No, he's big. He's really big.
It's like
No.
in. Sorry.
You just call Viggo short.
Oh, Viggo is shorter, isn't he?
No,
Shorter
he's
than
like
Mordecai,
taller
yes,
than
yeah.
you.
No, how's Viggo?
He's like
How tall's
5'6" or something.
Viggo? Yeah, he's
He's
short.
6'1".
Oh no, he's
6'1", yeah.
He's
He's a
taller than me.
lot taller than you.
He's got 2 inches on me.
Like a good foot.
Yeah.
It's like in
2
my
inches.
off-stream campaign, I'm playing a bug monstrosity creature that everyone just forgets is a dex-based build. They're like, "Oh, you can help lift that." I'm like, "I have an 8 strength. Why?
That's like
Why do you keep making me lift things?"
Tyler's a large lizard person. They're like, "Oh, you're large size. You can do that stuff." And he's like, "Bro, my strength's a 10." Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm a
It's like,
snake.
what? I don't know what you want from me.
All right. So snakes aren't particularly strong. They just get into all those hard to reach places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and mine's a bug. It's like he's a bug that's been assembled by parts.
Yeah.
He's dexterous. He's not strong.
So continuing, Jake, you are able to go over to the horse. It takes a bit of effort to throw the body on top of it. Go ahead and make me a simple ride check. Just a DC 10.
Hey,
No problem. He's like, this could go south. So
I know, that was a oh dear.
So you are able to trot your way with the body on the back. I imagine you leave like one hand on the body on the back to make sure it doesn't flop off. Otherwise, it's gonna occasionally go and get the body and throw it back on. Trot your way all the way over to where they are, and they kind of give you. They can see that the body's there. They can see kind of how things played out. So when they approach and like, "Who are you?" and you say your name, so on and so forth, and like. You got papers you should give the papers, and they say, "Apologies, sir," because they're ranked beneath you, So, and then he immediately says, the riders on their way in, I'm not sure if you were able to witness it or not. You didn't. They immediately diverted, one to the north and one to the south gates. I sent runners to those gates, and your subordinate is incredibly fast. So I sent him to the western gates just to be certain that things would be fine. So you should be safe. Any other concerns?
No, if we can lock down the entry points to the city just for the time being, I need to go speak with
BC Raylaw, I think, is the one we report to, right?
Yeah.
He nods and says, "There's little to nothing that you can do from this location. If you would like to head straight to the offices, I can write you something that says my report as to what's going on here, and you're more than welcome to wait at the offices until till they're detained, and you could be informed there."
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to the barracks where the BC is, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Heals that. Yep.
Then, sir, allow me to write a report for you to clarify any details so there's less questions.
Be swift.
When you say be swift, he very quickly scribbles out the thing. His penmanship's atrocious, but what do you expect from a commoner? And so he gets that put together for you, throws his little seal on there and whatnot. And as not every fucking officer has a seal, but he's representing, obviously one of the gates. So he has a specific responsibility. So throws a seal on there, and you can start just kind of making your way in there with the person on the back. He does actually ask you, do you want us to take this one to the garrison? Not the garrison, what do you call it? Prison. To the jail for you.
Yes.
Okay. He has his people kind of like remove the person and throw it onto the back of like a cart that's being pulled by a donkey, and we'll take care of that for you. Don't worry, Jake. They are bound with ropes and whatnot, and they're very
Who take off their shoes?
They're not going to suddenly disappear. So.
Yeah.
Either way, so this person is going to be led inwards. You can head over to there. Neil, you go chase down that person to try to get there as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, because you are far enough behind them and whatnot, because you stopped to take care of the horse, you're not going to be able to catch up to them. But what is able to happen is you can roll me an intimidate check, because as they're riding towards the gate, they look back and see you riding from behind them, and they need to make a choice. Am I...
The fucking Death Knight.
They choose the gate. So they're going to try to barrel through that gate with what's called an overrun check. But as I previously stated, these horses are not combat horses. So they require a DC 20 ride check to even convince them to try to barrel through people that have clearly put up almost like a phalanx. Not of shields, but of, swords or axes or what have you, maybe 2 pikes that they have. So he's going to have to make a DC 20 ride check, which I'm going to roll right now.
And imagine equipping your gate guards with swords and axes.
Holy fuck.
Nice. You did it.
That horse is determined.
We don't have critical successes, so I can't roll that into my overrun check that he immediately makes afterwards. So he is going to make an overrun check afterwards to try to barrel through them. This is going to be different. This is going to be based off of a different modifier. I'll actually set it as this for my reasons. Unfortunately, he does not successfully overrun the target, so he does convince the horse to go in there, but the targets are able to still...
that poor horse.
Well, it doesn't necessarily get killed, though. More or less, they kind of like jab at it with the thing, and the horse kind of freaks out and rears up and off to the side, similar to what happened to Neil literally last session, and rears up and off to the side, but unfortunately, because of its like charge forward being abruptly stopped, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, actually, hold on. Charging gives a +2 to overrun, doesn't it? I didn't factor that in there. Hold on. Pathfinder overrun.
But it also triggers attacks of opportunity.
Oh, it does.
Regardless of pass or fail, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless he has improved.
He does actually have improved. Yeah, that's why he got...
Oh, okay, then it doesn't... Yeah.
They're overrun. Okay. So give me 1 second. I just want to confirm. If charging gives you a bonus. Overrun.
No horses were this session.
Overrun. Here we go.
I don't think it does.
So it does not look like charging gives a bonus to that. So the result is as it remains. Yep, the result is as it remains. So they are able to kind of like scare the thing off to the side. Because of the abrupt stop, I just have to make 1 more ride check. That's the +5 modifier. This is going to be against a DC 12 to not... So the abrupt stop of the horse, the person gets all tangled up in their seat. They have a saddle, like a riding saddle onto it. So they actually end up like falling in their saddle to the point where they're like unbalanced. So not like hit the ground, but unbalanced in it to the point where we don't even need to make any checks. The guards around are easily able to kind of like swarm in and just like group grapple them and pull them to the ground and stomp them a few times because it's America. And when they notice that he's still moving, they tase him 3 or 4 times first. And then finally, once he's pissed him shit himself.
Shocking touch. The mage just comes up.
Then finally they get the handcuffs out, and they're going to throw on resisting arrest in there as well as assaulting an officer. And suddenly they find a little baggie of keef on him. I don't know where that came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
So he falls off it.
That's dark, man.
I wonder why my daughter is afraid of police.
Yeah.
We genuinely don't raise her that way, but I probably say too many jokes in front of her. So. Yeah, moving on. So, you are. They detain him, Neil. So you're able to kind of like ride up. Same idea. Once you announce who you are, you kind of ride up like, no, I'm here to handle the situation. And literally the runner comes up behind, like as the person's detained. The runner like was running up, kind of like calling out, guard. And they kind of got themselves situated for the person running in, which just barely did it. And then as they finish their running up to the area from calling down the street and whatnot that they were, they come up and they're all like aggressively handling you, and you're trying to like calm down the situation. But the person out of breath is like, no, he's good. He's good. He's good. And they kind of like wave at you, and you give like your little nod, I assume. I don't know if you say anything, Neil.
Made it quick.
And now, Tesh, on the other side, you don't see the person arrive over there. As a matter of fact, the only thing of note that you happen to see is you're rushing up over there, because you rush up to the guards over there. It's one of those things, you're like, poof, You drop.
Yeah, they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because again, I imagine because you don't want to freak people out. You don't fly through the city, right? You probably run very fast through the city.
Running,
But then if there's like a wagon with oranges in your way or cabbages in your
over.
way, you just like jump over. And the guy's like, "Not my cabbage!" Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
And
convenient.
you as you go rushing up, you can see that the guards that are facing inwards that are getting somewhat distracted. They kind of like jump too as you're approaching, but you kind of try to calm them down and explain the situation.
Stop.
Quick diplomacy check as you are approaching.
Ooh, that's a solid 6.
So they immediately like jump up, like, "Who are you? What's going?" Like they kind of like weapons drawn as they approach you. RP it.
Yeah.
You
Excellent, gallant. What?
I was just saying because you like land abruptly and you kind of like aggressive approach. Sorry.
Excellent, gallant. I have papers and orders.
They one of those things again. They have their weapons drawn and whatnot. One of them, they keep their sword, somewhat aimed like by your legs, and they step up and they snatch the papers from your hands. They step back and check
as
it
they're
out.
like stepping forward. I would say, I apologize. I don't have time to drop my magics. This needs to be quick.
The LT goes over and he walks over, cracks the seal, checks it out real quick, and reads it. And he reads it over. He says, "No, all's in order." He looks at you and says, "What are we looking for?" "Close down the gates. Close down the gates. What are we looking for?" Like not close down the gates, but like sure.
Immediately, 2 men on horseback that have been riding all night. For the rest of the day at least. Anyone trying to smuggle something back in from, ideally from the east, but they may be trying to go around the city. So keep an eye for someone sneaking from other gates.
Nods. Do you stay and do perception as well?
I would for a little bit. I would wait for a little bit before like breaking off, just to make sure that they didn't go around, take the long way around, or try and sneak around, that sort of thing. So
go ahead and roll me a perception check. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, there it is.
It's not a critical failure though. So if you beat a 13, you beat a 13. So are you fine with 13? Do you want to luck that to see if you can get better?
What do you guys think? Should I let the 1 be a 1, Neil?
I think that it's fine. He's not come to this gate yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully. I'm gonna think it's fine. I failed. It is what it is.
You failed, but there's 6 other guards.
There's lots of guards here, so I could hope one of them would see things. Anyway, I'm at this point, Gallon's probably fucking exhausted. Okay. Not like stat wise, but getting there.
The only thing that different groups of people come walking up to the gate because they want to come into it, right? But different groups of people come to the gate because they want to come into it. But all of them are just kind of, it's one of those things where the guards step forward and they anytime a group kind of goes up, they look to see if there's any riders, anybody on horseback or whatnot. If there are riders, they'll actually specifically ask you, "That them?" And you kind of shake your head no, and so on. So, but they only hold them up temporarily. And eventually somebody's going to come over and say, "We caught one of the riders coming to the south gate." And they'll look at you and say, "You with that knight on the horse?"
Correct.
He's there too. He made sure that all is well. After things were situated, he was told to head down to the barracks on the inside. And then like a few minutes after that, you would have somebody else coming to tell you, the other one broke through our lines inside in the north gate, but we were able to capture them. A couple of cabbages were damaged along the way, but we got the fucker.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Like I said, the only thing over here as you're watching this direction, just in case there happened to be a fourth person or like that, you were obviously watching this whole time. Everything seemed normal. Like again, you saw people pull up with like wagons because they have stuff to bring in for like routes. You saw travelers, so on and so forth. The only thing that really stood out to you was but then again, you're in a land where you see like all sorts of different shit. We've already described that. You saw like a smooth-skinned person whose skin was like half black and half white and whatnot. Like it was very strange looking, right? So, but the only thing here area that really jumps out as being particularly strange to you was you see this one person that's approaching the gate. It's part of a group of people and kind of like joining up to the other group that's there. As they're moving forward, they're really strange. They're reptilian, just like the lizard folk and whatnot that you see there. But they're a good bit shorter. No, when they stop, taller than the others that are around them. And you realize that they don't have a legged bottom half, just like that person that you encountered that one time in that cave. Nope, wrong character.
No, I did. No. Oh yeah, no, that was
Ilan. Yep. Sorry. So they have a snake-like lower half, which is, again, very strange. Yeah. But aside from seeing that like strange reptilian person approaching from the west gate, you don't really notice anything over here that's really noteworthy. So inevitably, once you hear that the last person is captured, maybe a minute later, you would turn and make your way in.
Yeah, I would then head off to the barracks to meet the others.
Yep, exactly. So you would turn to make your way inwards.
I would. To be clear, I would also thank the guard at the thing for this, even if it didn't end up being needed here, and then head off.
Absolutely. So you do that, and you head to the barracks. Now, obviously, the first one to the barracks is going to be Jake. Jake, you get there, you have your letter, you walk in, you go ask to speak to Rylor. You're given the good old-fashioned runarounds, but you're not going to accept that because obviously timing is important here. So why don't you go ahead and roll me either your diplomacy or intimidate check as you are doing that. Now, see here. How do you do this beyond just the die roll?
Just stress the importance of but the time is a factor. It's more just convincing and look, I'm what I'm doing is extremely time sensitive. I need your help. And he would just trying to convince them that way.
Okay. And obviously you show the letter and so on and so forth.
Yeah, he has the letter from the guard and all that stuff.
The person will actually go in, interrupt the meeting, and go in and tell. And so the Rylor will actually get up from their desk in their office and come over to meet with you. Rylor, if you remember correctly, just as a reminder, there is Lieutenant Centurion Vilfine, who treated you like an absolute ass. She was complete douche to you.
Yeah.
Then there was her commander, who is Battle Commander Rylor, who was more pragmatic about the situation, right? He clearly isn't happy either.
But we won her over at the end.
Him, yeah.
Was it him? Sorry.
Yeah. Rylor, he's pragmatic about the situation. It's one of those things where he's like, yeah, you do what you need to do, but you're not sanctioned. It's not sanctioned by me, blah, blah, blah. But then as Tesha's saying, you kind of like made a good point where they're like, fine, you do what you need to do. I understand. Thank you for your help. You know, it was like they weren't happy about it, but they were going along with it. So he walks out. He walks out saying, battle tactician, this has better be important. I'm in the middle of a very important meeting.
I'm sorry, PC. And then he just takes the masks out.
Would you do this publicly or would you do it privately?
Like, that's a good question.
Right
Viggo would do it. Yeah, Viggo would do it privately.
So what do you say here where he's standing out in like kind of the offices room that we discussed beforehand?
Yeah. He would say, if I can have a word with you in private, it is very important.
He's takes a steadying breath and says, you are trying my patience. I swear. As he turns to go towards the door and opening it, he's speaking as he's going in. And as you walk in behind him, he slams the door like with a snap. Not a slam, but like a snap shut behind you. He says, I swear, if this is a waste of my time, I will have your goddamn rank. You will be the
While
biggest
he's talking, Viggo is pulling out. He pulls out the 3 masks out, slams them down on the desk, and he says, "We were going after the Black Knights. We found their base of operations. We've taken out 3 of the leadership and burned all their supplies. We have a hell of a lot of correspondence that we hope to be able to get the remaining leadership. Without leaders, that this should just fall apart. It's extremely time sensitive. You could understand my actions here.
By Aravel's blade, you're not yanking my chain, are you?
Viggo looks at the masks and he says, "No, sir."
He goes over, he looks at the masks. He kind of like picks one of them up and turns it over, sees a bit of blood stained on it and whatnot. And he says, these three?
Yes.
More or less asking dead or alive.
When he look, sorry, dead or alive.
That's more or less what it's asking you.
Yeah, he says, dead. But when he looks at the masks, there's no recognition from like the masks, right? Sense motive, sense.
Oh, go ahead, roll
you
sense
know
motive.
what I'm saying?
Oh, that is a good call. That is a very good call.
Jake, trust no one.
So clearly he recognizes the significance of the masks, right? Like he knows what they are, but it's not like one of those like, but
because
Peter.
they are unique
Yeah.
masks, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was saying.
So it's not like, but Peter, or anything like that. He just recognizes the significance of the masks as far as you can tell. But good call as well. Who wants to get the boot? Who can do it first? Boot that mother fluffer. All right. So, anyways, you, sir, are able.
I want followers, man. I really wanted to buy some.
It was me.
It was me. I did it.
No, on mine it's time first.
I clicked.
Unbanned again.
I unbanned because I clicked.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So back to you, Jake. So
that first time chatter feature is amazing. Sorry, continue. It's so useful.
On one hand, I also feel like it could put stress on streamers if they're not bots. Like you're a small community and you get a first time viewer, you're like, shit. I feel like it puts pressure.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
But back to you, sir.
Yep, sorry.
So yeah, you're good. So he looks over, kind of, and you're watching him as he picks up the thing and all the cease or whatever it is. He nods and says, "By Aravel's blade, indeed. I think that this is near a cause of celebration. You've eliminated
a
three
problem.
of the leadership."
Sir.
Nods.
There were riders behind us. We managed to get to the gate first. I know there is one that was apprehended, but there was others that tried to make their way into the city. We've instructed the guard to place like a semi-lockdown thing because they're trying to get word into the city about what happened. I have a lot of correspondence to go through. Hopefully I can work something out and if we can identify any more members before they are told and we can act and arrest.
He nods and then goes over to a seat inside the room and will gesture towards a chair for you. And then he's going to take a seat as well. You can imagine when he's like an interrogation room is where you guys are going to sit down. So he takes a seat and he gestures towards one to you, then takes his own seat. And he thinks for a moment and he says, let's play this out logically. Let's say that they didn't break through our line and that they were apprehended. That means that we'd be able to question them accordingly, as long as they were able to be taken down non-violently, and we can potentially get some information from them. Not too much, as the Black Masks work with anonymity. Let's say that we weren't able to stop them there; they were able to break through the line. Then they either would be apprehended by the various city guard inside the city, or they would be able to get to their point of contact. Now, the latter of these options, we know that information gets spread. But even with the former options, it could be potentially dangerous. These riders that you were chasing, were they or weren't they wearing masks as they rode?
I couldn't see them.
He nods understandingly and says, if they weren't wearing masks, then it's potentially they are not going to be identified as to who they are or what organization they represented, meaning that others wouldn't necessarily know that something went wrong. The information would have been stopped. If they were wearing masks, the fervent way at which they were trying to enter into the city, just seeing that alone may have spread the information far enough. So you did good in trying to stop them at the gates, but the information still may have leaked in one way or another. We're going to have to try to discover this.
As he says this, Viggo starts pulling out the correspondence out of the haversack.
He nods. He stands up and says, I will immediately assign people to start pouring over these with you. And then he looks at you for a second and says, coffee?
Yes, please.
He nods slightly and says, I have some fine stuff from the northern Dalelands. It's damn good coffee. Even if they fight like bastards up there, they know how to grow a bean.
Sounds wonderful. We do have one problem. There was a mage. We found his stuff, but he wasn't there. I have his correspondence, and it's you can only the ink is invisible. I can only read it when and he pulls out one of his potions and it says, drinks this. We didn't kill the mage. We never even came in contact with him. But the fact of the matter is his spell book was there. And that's a traveler's spell book, right?
Yeah.
There's a backup one, I think.
There was a shorter spell book there. So he may not have been in residence at the time, or he may have been.
He nods. He's like, I'm not familiar too much with length of spell books or the significance beyond. That's where mages store their power. But that aside, these correspondence, what language are they written in?
What language were they written in?
Gnomish.
Gnomish.
He nods slightly and says, I have a few people that speak Gnomish, but so they can read and write Gnomish.
I can handle that, sir.
And you can read it.
I can.
I have no reason not to trust you in this matter. You've already shown incredible success up until this point. Then it'll be your responsibility to read through those ones. I'm sure we can acquisition a viewing lens from the Arcane Congress, but stuff like that can take days, if not months. Something like that would be a little bit more difficult to get our hands on. I would suggest that perhaps in the future you try to get your hands on a viewing lens, but for now this will work. He thinks for a few extra moments as he's trying to digest all of this information. So he stood back up and puts his hand on the back of the chair and thinks for a few extra moments and says, I will send people in to comb through this with you. They will be able to hopefully discover who the leaders are. You believe that there were 4 leaders. 3 of them have been, shall we say, handled. And the 4th one is a mage that uses Gnomish, who is currently in a degree of hiding or loose.
If he was there, we missed him. If he was here in the city, he may not know what's happened yet.
He nods slowly and says, well, time is of the essence. The quicker we are able to act, the quicker we are able to apprehend. Very well. Get to work immediately. I'll have coffee brought in for you, as well as a couple of people to assist you. It may take me a couple of an hour or two to get the proper people sent in, but at the very least, I'll have transcribers put in here to assist you immediately. Sugar.
2.
Nods. Good work. And then he opens up the door and he shuts it significantly more gently when he walks out this time. Several minutes later, 2 people come walking in. They introduce themselves to you. Names don't matter. These are just NPCs. You can name them something like, I don't know, Amanda.
Just so you know, I cataloged quickly
Ted.
every, like how many pages for each thing. I have them cataloged.
I mean, you mean like when you first pick them up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you like a quick count. I mean, you only spent 10 minutes searching that entire place, so it's
not like as I'm pulling them out, like I know, you know,
you could do that
this
now,
goes with
no
that,
problem. But back then, it would have been.
Yeah,
like
I'll do that first.
Quick.
I'll do that first.
Yeah, and that's
before
fine.
we start.
That's fine. Even while waiting for the others to come in, you could probably work on that just to make sure there's no sleight of hand or whatnot that goes in. I understand. It's like when you have your cocaine factory, everybody gets naked, right? You know. So right.
I tuned out watching the cat and then I tuned back into Cocaine Factory.
Yeah. Right? You want to make sure that nothing gets hidden, you know? So moving on, you are, I mean, look at Jake. He looks like he could be a drug lord. You know what I mean? Look at him.
Oh,
look at him.
nice, dude.
Jake's in there. He looks like the kind of guy that has a machete. I'm just saying.
Is that body shaming?
No, that's respect. That's like, give me orders.
Oh right, yeah,
I will
because you
sub
guys
to you.
love it when a man has weapons. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's America. I want to engage in that hand to hand. So, all right. So moving on. You shit. What was I saying? I got distracted by visions of Jake with a machete. So you So you disappointed me. Shaves my beard. No, stop it. No, no, stop it.
But it's a rough shave. It's not gentle, but you love
Against
it.
the grain. All right.
This is what you deserve.
Chat, help.
So, anyone writing a Jake and Scott fanfic?
They come in. Oh Jesus, I am not reading that. So they eventually the other two will come in, and you can kind of inform them of the situation, and you do have transcribers and whatnot that come to assist you. They tell you that the others have been detained, and so on and so forth. So the real question comes down to, do you want to immediately approach the three people that have been detained, or do you want to continue with the transcribing first? Do you want to split your assets between them?
Split 100%. Triss and if Gallon can choose where he wants to be, but Triss should start interrogation.
Okay. So it takes another like hour and change from the points that we said that you finished doing all, like you saw them and started chasing after them and whatnot. It's been like another hour and change of like high tense, high emotion and whatnot since even then, right? Since you're able to get going. So that being said, before you're able to start kind of like working on next one. So that being said, your characters definitely have the fatigue status currently put on them, and your brains are in a bit of a mental slump. Jake, your character is able to drink coffee, which coffee is able to it just makes your character a better human. So if you just want to click the buff better human, or there's actually another buff on that says more like Daelric. It's the same thing, and you can apply that to your sheet. It should be plus like 3 to all your stats.
The fact that I opened up my buffs to look for better human.
Okay, I will apply that to my sheet. Plus 3 to all stats. Thank you, Scott.
You need some coffee. She is fatigued.
So you, sir, are just kidding, of course. But you guys are able to kind of jump into the thing. Jake's is going to come down to skill checks, which is kind of boring. So we're going to make Jake play Warmonger right now and just watch us have fun. Yeah. So you guys...
Cool. That's what he likes.
Yeah, we'll have Nick be Nick, and we'll have Neil be Cell. So that works out.
You really confused me because my name is Nick.
I know, that's why I said it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like, wait, what's going on?
So listen, at this point in time, Neil's going to take over the scene. He's going to do some really good RP, insanely good skill checks, use all of the luck dice, and you're just going to insult him the entire time.
Wow.
Sure.
Welcome to Warmonger.
Honestly, in scene, what I would be doing is I'd be sense motivating while Neil interrogates, because that's what I'm good at.
Okay.
Have they got a medic?
Oh, do they have a medic? I mean, there would be This is the lots of military has to be like a field medic. Mm-hmm.
I need a medic. I need a veterinarian, and I need a blacksmith.
What do you need a veterinarian for?
Karok? Someone needs to give that boy long-term care.
Can I get 1d3 damage from somebody in chat? Can somebody in chat roll me a d3, please? Anybody? I don't care. First person. D3. 2. 1. Result is now.
Just know that whatever you're rolling, you're hurting Karok. You're hurting my poor innocent horse.
Okay, fine.
If you roll this 1d3.
Jesus Christ. Nobody's going to want to roll after that. He takes 2. What's Karok's HD? Oh, look, 2 as well. Thank you, Amanda. What's his HD?
His health or his HD?
HD.
I don't know what his HD is.
It's probably 4. In which case, he heals.
But he's level 5, so it's probably 5.
So he heals
right?
5 health points overnight without any form of care. He'll be fucking fine. Moving on.
No,
Shh.
he's been hit in a fight.
Oh, he took damage. Gotcha. So you go to handle the interrogation. Gallon, what are you doing?
I said I would be doing sense motive while he's doing the interrogation.
Okay, so let's go down to that thing. We have 11 minutes before I have to bow out to go get changed for work. So let's immediately jump into that. You guys...
So just one quick thing, just as a note, is where we're interrogating less than a mile away from our apartment.
I'm sure it could be arranged.
You specifically chose a location that was as close to the barracks, within less than a mile of where the barracks was. So I would say yes.
Okay, then I would have left Virgil in our apartment just in case Crow comes back there.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So more or less you tell Virgil, head there. And Virgil's like,
yeah,
huntsman.
He's got an 18 stealth, so hopefully he'll make it.
Like Crow opens the door and Virgil's just there, turns around in a spinny chair.
It was inevitable that you came back. Returned. But Crow is smarter than Jake, so Crow has a selfie stick with a spray can at the end of it.
Yeah, we get it. Crows are smarter than magpies. Come on, dude.
But then
and ravens are smarter than them.
But Crow rolls a natty 1. He accidentally had the can backwards and sprays himself.
So let's continue with the interrogation. Okay.
So you guys jump into the interrogation, and there's the one person who's in a fucking coma. Of the other two, one of them had to get battered down by the area and really screwed up their ankle because they ran over the carriage of cabbages. Just got utterly destroyed. And then there's a third person who was apprehended pretty quickly that Neil witnessed. Are you
so
trying
we did
to
get all three of them?
Correct. Are you trying to do two at the same time or one at a time?
Two.
One, two? Okay, we'll do two.
Okay. So you're gonna grab both of them. They're both in there, sitting down. They're not like in there before you, right? Like I imagine you guys are in there and they're brought in. One is sat down, and about a minute later, the other is sat down. I don't know if you say any words to the one while you're waiting for the other one to show up. The first one coming in is the uninjured one, the one that Neil witnessed get taken down. Do you say anything to him first?
Came out all right for having a tussle with the guard.
He looks at you and says, "Yeah, I don't know what that was about." His eyes. Really tired. He looks like me
Bit
playing
tired.
Lost Initiative. Yeah.
Wind in your eyes, all that riding, no mask.
I mean, he says no mask. He clearly, you get your reaction. He goes,
yeah.
Mask? Why would you wear a mask while riding?
I would just nod to Tristan. Like, yep.
My question too.
He shrugs and goes, so I guess we're on the same page with this one. Yeah, well, anyways, if we could just kind of get this over with. I had somewhere important to be. That's why I was trying to get in the town so quick.
Well, did you? Because funnily enough, I had somewhere important for you to be as well. You know, terrorists get executed, right?
Whoa. Got to roll intimidation check as you say that. The door opens up and he's like, no, I just had somewhere important to be. And the door opens up and the other one's being let in here. Do you want to lock that?
I'm being teased by the 19s today.
Yeah, I know. The 19's like, no. That was very good, yeah.
There's your 19 teasing you again. So you're so he's just like, whoa, I just had somewhere to be, like clearly like thrown off by the execution, you know? But like I said, you say that and he's like, I just had somewhere to be as the door opens up and the other one's kind of like let in with aggressively let in, like no care to the fact that their ankle is messed up. It's one of those ones where like, you know, if you go into the police station less injured than you come out of it, call it a win scenarios. So he's let in and kind of like thrown down into the chair where he's manacled to the table.
You two are acquainted, I'm sure.
They look at each other. Roll a sense motive, Tesh.
Yep.
You pick up the subtle one's nodding while the other one's shaking their head, like a really subtle movements. And the one that nods kind of like snaps their head back to you, who was the one that just got sat down, and goes, "Yeah, this is my friend Tony."
Tony, and your name is
Phil.
Phil. And so, where were you riding from?
We have a place east of here. Good friends,
Oh, do
go
you?
way back. We do.
Yeah? What sort of place?
He says, "Oh, old hunting lodge."
Yeah? I've been out east. Ain't no hunting lodges out that way.
He looks at you and he's like, "You from around here? What town's east of here?"
So are the chairs that they're in easily sort of like angled away from each other? Because I have an idea I want to do. Are the chairs easily to angle? Like, can I angle them away from each other so they're facing away from each other essentially?
I mean, their arms are manacled to the table, but you can be like this if need be.
The arms are manacled to the table.
Yeah, but you can like. Turn
I'm
them
sorry
so
if my...
No, I want to block the other one's vision of one's hand. I want to make them say how far away it is like with their hands, because I know they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to be clever about catching them and making it obvious that we know they're lying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if my relaxed demeanor gave you the wrong impression, but I'm the one asking questions here.
He leans over to the one that you were interrogating beforehand and says, "He doesn't know, does he?" And the guy's just like, "Listen, like I said, I had somewhere to be that was important. I don't need any, terrorists or anything like that thrown out there." And the guy looks at him.
One?
Which
The injured one's being the dick.
So which one was nodding? Which one was saying no?
Injured one. He's the cocky one because he wasn't just threatened.
Okay.
Tris is gonna look at his hands. Now, the guards tell me that a terrorist came through the gates. Now, both of you came through the gates, and you claim to know each other, old buddies. Now, which one of you is the terrorist and which one isn't?
He says, so the guy that you had intimidated before and goes, "I know I'm not. I'm pretty sure he's not either. We were just at the hunting lodge to the east of here."
You calling my men a liar?
He shakes his head and says, "There's a difference between lying and misinformation."
You know about misinformation, do you?
And then the cocky one goes, "Yeah, like you're saying you're from around here." "Oh no, that'd be a lie."
Okay. Let me make this clear. One of you is a terrorist. And as I told your friend there, do you know what we do to terrorists in Peridel? Because that's where we are. We're in Peridel.
Sense motive on that one, Tesh.
Yep. Oh, that was less than the others.
I'm
gonna luck this one. Yep. Ah, no.
I'd still say you see them squirm as he like lays it in thick. We're in Peridel. That's like going to Hawaii and be like, "This is the United States." Like, oh, rough. You think you're in Guam? This is the United States. You just don't get rights.
What?
This is where I can't use the Virgil to relay the information quickly and easily to Neil. I'm going to leave it for now. I think he's catching on. If I feel like there's really good information, I'll whisper it to him.
Good.
So
now that you boys understand where you are, I think perhaps we should start with the truth part of the conversation. You know, for the one of you that wants to continue living in Peridel.
The guy who's injured starts nodding and goes, It's probably him. And the other one that you intimidated before, and goes, the fuck? And he's like, hey, listen, do you even know where the hunting lodge is? Like, do you even remember how far it is from here? Like, I brought you there because my friend suggested I bring you. You know, it's not like we're close. He's like, seriously?
Wow, this is a quick turnaround.
They're turned on each other now. Now it's
Yeah,
time.
this is great. Yeah.
The guy looks at you and goes, no, listen, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but I came back in a hurry because my girl is pregnant. I just wanted to come back to see how she's doing. She's due around now. I just wanted to come and make sure everything's good. That's all it was. Just come to check on her because she's pregnant.
Due around now, but
And
you
the guy
went out
manacled
to a
up.
hunting lodge.
He's like, due now, pregnant. Sure. What's her name? And he looks at you and says, her name's Cecilia. I lied. My name's not Tony. Sorry about that one.
Okay. I respect that. You're telling the truth. That's what an honorable knight would do, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was the name?
Kakiden is my real name. Her name's Cecilia. She's pregnant. Fuck this guy. And the other guy is like, he's just kind of like nodding along. Already admits to lying. Gentlemen, I think we got him. You know, for Paradel. Or sorry, hold on.
I've already caught that guy, the guy who's like super arrogant and has been lying, right?
You know that
I already like.
You know
sorry.
that he's uncomfortable with the whole Paradel situation and stuff like that, but not specifically lying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you went hunting when your wife was due to be giving birth.
Yeah, the cocky one looks at him and gives him like a, come on, explain yourself, kind of like nod along look. Like we're on the same side, guys, don't worry. And the guy goes, well, yeah, she's not due, she's due around now, but she's not actually giving birth yet. Besides, a guy's got to make money. Hunting is how you make money, take care of your family. Food, meat, all that stuff. Yeah.
You're both hunters then.
The guy that's again scared, he's like, well, I'm a damn fine better hunter than this ass. And the guy knocks at you and goes, oh yeah? How many confirmed kills you got? And he looks back at him and he says, I don't flaunt my numbers? And he's like, yeah, some hunter. Everybody knows that hunters flaunt their numbers. And he looks back at him just shaking his head. Like, again, the scared one just shaking his head. Tesh, you can imagine there's a degree of truth to what he's saying. But, again, you also know he's obfuscating. Like, you know who the fuck these people are. Like, you're not stupid. You're just trying to get it out of them.
Listen, you're hunters. You're men of the land. I like that. I like that a lot. You're honest workers. Honest. But, honestly, can I let you go?
At this point in time, the door opens up.
The
door opens up, and somebody kind of like leans in for a second and holds up 3 different masks and say, found these in one of the saddlebags.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, interesting.
Which one are yours?
The guy who says that he has a wife, he just stands up to the best of his ability while being manacled to the table and says, I will tell you absolutely everything that you need to know. No problems. Absolutely everything you need to know.
That is perfect.
No, I'm gonna turn to Tristan and just say, let's separate them now.
And
now's the time to separate them.
And now
Okay, we'll take the one who hasn't offered back to the shelf.
Yeah. And we'll have to end the session with that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. All right, cool. If chat wants to chat on a Discord call, I'll be on that call at about 10:15, which is about 17 minutes from now. So if you want to hop onto that call, you're welcome to do so, but I need to hard out so I can go get changed and get going. There's no...
10 minutes for shower, 5 minutes for changing clothes, 2 minutes for fat.
Yeah. That I mean, honestly, it takes at least 2 minutes to find like a decent, thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? So...
What do you mean, Jake's right there? Just take a screenshot.
Yeah, all right. You think I haven't? I have a file called Yes, Please. I mean...
Oh, God. Oh, this is... No, bye.
Bye,
oh, don't worry.
everyone.
They can't see you're getting all like thirsty there, Tesh. All right, bye everybody. We're gonna go raid a friend of ours. Bye everybody.